And a Sports Talk's going to join us. Week 8 of the high school football season is underway. It is the home stretch, to say the least. You've got some really good matchups, and I know this for real because my kid goes there. I know Ron Colley's already busted out of town. They're going over to Cincinnati Elder to put their unbeaten streak on the line later on tonight. And you've got a lot of fantastic games on the schedule, all a part of week number 8 of the high school football season. Here later on tonight, we got our game of the week normally is on, but we got the Pacers in the preseason from Cleveland coming up later on tonight, so we'll dial that in for you as well. Get you set for that. Bob Level, bottom of the hour. College football, yeah, not as good as it has been because we got some local teams that are in the midst of their bye week, but still there is some stuff to lean on, including Notre Dame coming off that loss to Cincinnati and South Bend last week, the Fighting Irish on the road in Blacksburg versus Va Tech. We'll talk about that with Bob and a lot more coming up at the bottom of this hour. Mike Wells of ESPN.com is going to get with us coming up per usual at 4 o'clock. We'll talk about the Colts and the Ravens matchup, who did practice, who didn't practice earlier today. We may end up calling the Colts at some point this season the Indianapolis working out on the side, because these guys that we've been waiting on to play once again have been working out on the side, one being Braden Smith. Kwity Paye, I think, was on the inside a little bit earlier working, so we'll still follow that story. And remember, this is a Thursday for them. It doesn't look like Braden Smith is going to be back coming up on Monday night. We'll check in with Kwity Paye. But it does look like that the list, if you look at it, the laundry list of those that have not been participating, that laundry list is shrinking. And that is good. And one of the best parts about that is the simple fact that you look at the quarterback situation with Carson Wentz, and it looks like day to day he is getting a hell of a lot better. And they're going to need him and then some coming up on Monday night. You know, one of the things we were talking about, at least earlier in the week, and then I got into when I was making my picks, our Larceny Bourbon Locks and Luna Azul Tequila shots yesterday, the thing I got into was trying to project, and here's why, is because this Colts team doesn't play until Monday. And normally we get a pretty good look at it, you know, a lot of what the Colts are going to have to offer when they play on a Sunday. It's a little bit different when you're trying to longer-term predict from a Friday until a Monday night situation. I looked back at last year's game and didn't watch it because I wasn't going to do that, especially the second half. But I looked back to last year's game and kind of went over, you know, some notes and things that I had from a year ago. And that first half defensively from this team was absolutely spectacular a year ago. Remember how good you felt in the first half of that game? Now, you know, as a Colts fan, I'm sure you're kind of ready for the bottom to fall out a little bit, especially when you're playing against Lamar Jackson. But a year ago, how they looked defensively in that first half was spectacular. It's just that the second half, everything ended. They end up getting beat 24-10 in that game. And that's when we started asking questions about this team being capable of beating, you know, playoff caliber, tougher teams. The one thing that the Ravens always bring that tough-ass mentality. Make no mistake about that. I mean, that's what they bring. Even in their present situation where they're missing a lot, I mean, really, you can look at them, and you can talk about the Colts having a variety of injured players, but you look at how they have started the season, and no team in the NFL started the season worse as far as injuries are concerned than that of the Baltimore Ravens. I mean, secondary hits, running back hits. I mean, you look at who they have on the depth chart right now trying to make up for the running back losses. It's absolutely amazing. But you know what? They've stood up, gotten the job done to this point. I mean, didn't start out well, didn't finish well in week 1 on the road against the Raiders, but they have looked really good up until that point and kind of Ravens-esque. You know, a year ago it was about trying to get Marquise Brown the football. He was complaining about it. You got a guy like Mark Andrews at tight end. That always is a guy top of the list as far as tight ends are concerned in the NFL. They have a number of weapons, and even with the losses, the massive losses, you know, from Marcus Peters to what they have at the running back situation to what they're trying to make make do with right now, I mean, even with all that in mind, that mentality still stays there. You know, that mentality of still, hi, Courtney, playing tough, being good, and winning by virtue of that level of toughness. And, you know, you look back at a couple of different games, and I tend to look at it this way too, because when I made my pick yesterday with the Ravens over the Colts, people said, hey, you got to remember that this team was a thrown flag that should have been and a 66-yard doink off the crossbar from Justin Tucker to losing to the Detroit Lions. And while that is true, I mean, they also disposed of on the road against the Denver team that I don't believe in and I didn't buy, but they handled them mightily last weekend, and they also did the same thing at home a couple of weeks back to the Kansas City Chiefs. So, listen, I mean, can they be had? Absolutely. Is this Colts team going to be ready to do that? As we've talked about, it would be nice if they were, because that would make a lot more things believable, especially within the AFC South. I mean, really, games like this where people like me suggest that they're not going to win on a Friday when they play on a Monday, these are the games that ultimately could be the difference in winning and or losing. What's up, man? The AFC South. I love you guys yelling at me right here. That's the difference in a division in which if you get to 10, more than likely you're going to win it. You get to 10, more than likely you're going to win the division, and you're going to host a home playoff game for the first time in forever. Now, on the other hand, if you don't, and that's all a part of trying to take care of your business. Now, this is different. Because I think most people, and this was brought to my attention yesterday, hey, if I were to have suggested this team would start out 1-4, most of you would probably be in agreement with that. Most of you would probably think that. Yeah, that's an absolute possibility. Starting out the season 1-4. And then being able to make up ground the rest of the year was what I think we were all looking at. Making up ground, you know, obviously against the rest of the AFC South. Making up ground twice against Jacksonville, twice against Houston, you know, getting the Jets at home. You know, we'll see what the Niners look like on that road trip. Now, again, you still get, you know, teams like Tampa Bay, and we'll see what New England's going to look like as well further down the road. But handling what you should handle. But also, I think the thing we forget about is just being able to surprise folks like me that are picking against you against this Ravens team. You know, a Ravens team that did struggle at times, did struggle in closing out. Detroit, maybe when you look back on it, should have lost to the Lions on the road. The other thing you look at with the Ravens is they have been so good on primetime TV. I mean, yet another opportunity for them to look good on primetime TV. And part of the issue a year ago was you felt really good about the Colts D and how they handled Lamar Jackson in that first half. And yeah, it was a tale of two halves for real. Because after that, not so much. But this would be a calling card left for a team that really does need it. It does. It gets you looking at that schedule and wondering, of the playoff teams that remain on this schedule, where is the likelihood of a win right there? Because that ultimately, along with taking care of business within your division, and again, right now, when you think about it, you can't afford another loss within your division. On Halloween, you got to beat the Titans, and then you got to take 2 against Jacksonville and Houston. You cannot afford another loss, to me, within your own division. So what is going to be the separation games here? I mean, is there a separation game? Of the playoff type of teams, who can they beat in the remainder of this schedule? And again, we're only in the first week of October. But you start thinking about that. And, you know, you think about the fact where you can't trip and fall against anybody. You can't trip and fall against any of these teams that you absolutely have to beat. And again, there's no guarantee they won't do that. But you just have some have-tos, because you look at the margin of error, not just within the division, but within the wild card scope of things in the AFC. Yeah, your major focus more so now than ever when you're 1-3 on the season. maybe 1-4. Your focus is going to be making sure that you win this division. How do you do that? Take care of Tennessee on the 31st and then take care of those other teams. But it would be nice if you served a little bit of notice on a Monday night. I guess you go back to last year when they did at home against Green Bay. That was certainly feel good. But I think it has been a while. It has been a while since they've served notice against a legitimate playoff team when you really needed it. And Monday night, they really need it. Really need it. Talk to Mike Wells about that coming up in the 4 o'clock hour. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fisher. He's going to slide by in the 5. Remember, at 5:30, we're going to go to Colts Happy Hour about 30 minutes early because we've got Pacer preseason hoops to get to, and that pregame show coming up at 6:30 later on this evening. Once again, a reset. We are at Average Joe's. We are in Broad Ripple. I talked to Rob Sabatini a little bit earlier. He's going to join us, I think, sometime on the show as well. It is great to see Average Joe's doing what Average Joe's basically over decades has done here, sustaining in the heart of Broad Ripple. We're here with Bud Light on a Blue Friday. We have Texans Colts tickets to give away, so all you got to do is come by, get yourself signed up. And I do believe we, as usual, have a game of interest for you. We have the opportunity for you to win those by virtue of a football toss. So if you want to slide by and do that, you're more than welcome to sliding by and giving it a chance as far as the football toss is concerned. So we can certainly do that. Got afternoon baseball, MLB Network, I believe, right now. You looked last night, didn't it? The White Sox gave you every indication. And sorry, Tony Donahue, and happy birthday to you. And Tony is here right now. But the White Sox gave you every indication, as I worried about before they started out yesterday in game number 1 of that ALDS, every indication that they could ultimately be swept. That, with a team that just simply hadn't played as well, certainly in the second half, and maybe even down the stretch, that is a tough order going to Houston where you know that they're going to be ready, cheating in the past or not. They're going to be ready. And, man, Houston came out yesterday and just got up all over Lance Lynn. I mean, all over that guy. And that was unfortunate for them. They're trying to hang in 2-1, bottom of 3 right now, game 2 of that ALDS with the White Sox and the Astros. And the White Sox really need a split, and no doubt about that. Brewers and Braves coming up at you 4:37 or so. That is game 1 of their NLDS. Game 2, Red Sox and Rays. Rays just kind of steady Eddie right there. 7:02 later on tonight, that game 2 in Tampa. And I did not know this. In the postseason history, Dodgers and Giants have never met. I guess I could have figured it out. But this heated rivalry fires up in San Francisco later on tonight at 9:37. This is one that I cannot wait to watch because there are going to be tremendous storylines. I mean, you talk about a couple of fan bases that obviously hate one another, but these storylines in this matchup, that is fantastic right there. 9:37 later on tonight for the Dodgers and the Giants. And, of course, we'll watch what's going on in that ALDS Game 2 down in Houston between the Astros and White Sox. Again, bottom of 3, 2-1 Astros as they look to take a commanding 2-zip advantage in that divisional set in the American League. So we can hit that if you guys like at 239-1070. Email address is jmv@1070thefan.com. Show is on Twitter at jmv1070. Inside the Lounge via YouTube Live. And again, the lounge is up and going, and it always will be. And this is a not-so-subtle reminder. Not only am I on the road today here at Average Joe's in Broad Ripple, but every single day next week I will also be on the road. So I'm going to put a little responsibility on those inside the lounge because we need to keep the traffic and activity going. What's up? We got to keep that going. So I'm going to put it up to you. The mainstays, right? The staples, the signature folks inside that lounge where you can get there and you can watch and you're going, well, wait a minute, what are you going to be watching? Well, you're not going to be watching me, but you can listen to me. And then you can also react to the topic in which I go over and discuss, and then discuss those and post amongst yourselves right there. But without me being in there, I want to make sure that we keep that thing rolling traffic-wise. So I'm going to leave it up to you. And let me tell you this. On the other side, for you staples inside the lounge, on the other side, there's going to be something really nice and cold for you. Like this ice-cold Bud Light I'm drinking right here in the window of Average Joe's right now. See? For real. Be something nice, something be really cold for you on the other side, because we got to keep that going given the fact that it's going to be the course of 7 show days in which I'm not going to be in studio, which is an all-time high. And you know me, I love going out. I love going out, love doing this, love broadcasting from Broad Ripple in the window, even when it's raining a little bit, but it's still a great day, got a little bit of breeze going on. I love doing this. Oh, you're going to take a picture of this? I think that's a well-done picture. So Levi's going to take a picture, and I'm going to give him the 6 gun right there, the left-handed 6 gun, like Isaac did on the Love Boat in the intro. I'm going to give that 6 gun to him. But I love being out. This is going to be a first. I don't think I've ever been out 7 consecutive days like this. It is amazing, but it's awesome. For example, CarX on Monday, they're going to have that grand opening CarX location, the 14th in Central Indiana, over in Brownsburg. Joe Childers will be there. I'm taking everything that I have that has wheels is going over there and getting Fall Road ready. Everything. And you should do the same thing. I believe our friend Tucker Barnhart, because he's from Brownsburg, I got to see if Drew Story can get over there too. But everything with wheels on it on Monday, everything with wheels needs to show up over there. I'm taking everything I have. They're doing everything on our vehicles, and you should as well. And plus, they're going to stay open a little bit longer, at least let me hang out a little bit longer, because I have the Colts pregame huddle leading up to Monday night, and I'll be doing my lead portion of the Colts pregame huddle live from that Northfield Drive location over in Brownsburg. That is the 14th and brand new CarX location over in Brownsburg. It is going to be a celebration. Again, bring all your set of wheels. Let's go ahead and make sure you're good to go for the rest of the fall and into the early start of the winter with great deals at CarX. That is coming up on Monday. We're in the midst of 7 consecutive days of this show on the road. Also, YouTube, Livers, Inside the Lounge. Uphold the credibility of that thing, too. Whether it's J-Law or Sean or Manilow or Stansberry or if Jonah drops in, uphold the credibility while we're out for 7 consecutive days here on the road. Like today, we're at Average Joe's. We are on Broad Ripple. Bud Light Blue Friday is what we're doing here. Hopefully you can slide by and join us, too. I love Average Joe's. Great memories here. Even before I started doing radio, I was telling Tony Donahue, who is here, too, and it's his birthday, and he's watching his White Sox in Game 2. You know, all the times that I spent, even before I did this for a living, here and then on this strip in Broad Ripple. So it's always good to be back, and we're at Average Joe's here until about 6:30. Look at the big Zell. See, I'm telling you, here's what's happening. The big zinc 18-wheelers out here to unload. Hey, Courtney, they're going to have so many people here, they just got to restock, don't they, with that thing right there? Just restock it. That's what you got to do. Average Joe's, we're in Broad Ripple today. Bud Light Blue Friday. I've got Colts and Texans tickets to give away for you. Of course, that's coming up on the 17th. Colts are back after 3 weeks on the road, and we shall see if they have a couple of wins under their belt or if this team is going to be 1-4 when they welcome in the Houston Texans coming in on the 17th. We got tickets for that game for you. All right, 239-1070. Email address is jmv at 1070thefan.com. As I mentioned on Twitter and Inside the Lounge, holding up the credibility of the show. It's a big job, and it's somebody's job, and I think you guys Inside the Lounge are up to it as well. Bob Lovell, bottom of the hour, is going to join us. Week 8 of the high school football season. We'll go over that with some of the bigger matchups you guys are going to attend later on tonight around the state of Indiana. And we'll do some college as well with Bob Lovell coming up at the bottom of the hour. Mike Wells, ESPN.com at 4. Voice of the Hoosiers, Don Fisher, is going to join us in the 5 o'clock hour. And, of course, I got to converse with my man Rob Sabatini here over the course of this show as well. In Broad Ripple, Average Joe's, Bud Light Blue Friday. Friday. Come and catch us here. Honk when you're driving by. Yell at me. Do whatever, because I am officially in the window here at Average Joe's in Broad Ripple. Let's take a break. We shall come back. 93.5, 107.5, the app, the stream, and you can get us obviously inside WIBC 93.1 HD2. If you have HD radio in your car, I can tell you this, it is crystal clear. So check it out if you have the means. Back with you next.
This year, our average client received over $52,000 with an easy cash-out refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326-241.
Hey, Indianapolis, this is Kevin Bowen, and football season has finally kicked off, and that means PropSwap has the best odds in the country on futures, props, and parlays. Now is the best time to get involved while the odds are high. Who will win the MVP? Who will win the championship? These odds are America's best, and they're only on PropSwap. Even here, Colts, Kwity Paye, Defensive Rookie of the Year, something along those lines. Don't miss out on a money-making opportunity by heading to PropSwap.com or downloading the free PropSwap app. Last year, 2 different prop swappers made $100,000 just by buying and selling tickets on PropSwap. Join in on this fun today and start prop swapping with your sports bets. Football season is here, and PropSwap is filled with so many intriguing team and player props. PropSwap is your answer to win bigger at sports betting. If you're looking for better odds than what your sportsbook is offering, look no further. Check out PropSwap.com or download the free PropSwap app today.
It's Terry Stacy for your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer, B&W Plumbing, Heating, Cooling, and Drains. Owner Chris Ambrose says second opinions are important.
We want to make sure that you are confident in the service that you're getting from whoever. The diagnostic that we give you may be different from the one that you got before. What we hope is it'll give you peace of mind that you're getting the right solution for your problem.
Get your free second opinion from B&W by going to BigBlackTrucks.com. Your trusted local independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Hey, it's Rob Belushi from Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg. You may have heard there aren't any good deals on cars right now. Here's a secret. There are if you know where to look.
Why are you whispering, Rob? We've got great deals right now.
Brian, I'm letting everyone in on the secret.
Yeah, for the first time ever, Ford certified pre-owned cars are priced up to $4,000 below Kelley Blue Book.
Brian, shh! We've got great deals on new cars too.
New Escapes are $3,500 off and new EcoSports are $5,750 off. See, we have great deals.
Brian, shh! These deals won't last, so we gotta keep them quiet.
Oh, right. It's a secret.
Most dealerships scream prices that aren't really deals. At Bill Estes Ford, if you listen closely,
you'll find out. Save $3,500 on new Escapes and $5,750 on new EcoSports.
And $4,000 below Kelley Blue Book value on certified pre-owned. Darn it, Brian, you made me yell now.
Well, Rob, you shouldn't keep secrets.
Listen closely for the real deal. $3,500 off Escapes, $5,750 off EcoSports. Your key is waiting at Bill Estes Ford in Brownsburg.
When winter's at its worst, snowplow professionals need the best. That's why your local Boss dealer has the ultimate lineup of snow and ice solutions you need. Front to back, Boss leads with advanced truck plows and spreaders, compact equipment, heavy equipment, and time-saving tools to clear any surface area. Keep them open with a Boss snowplow, built to back you up.
Join the Boss Owners Group and get a $50 rebate right now with a Preseason Boss Plow inspection at Mid-State Truck Equipment. Online at mid-statetruck.com.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 317-706-GOLD today and make no mortgage payments until next year.
Golden Oak Lending cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
So then I dropped some garlic and croutons on there, and the rest is salad history. I made the best salad ever, people, and now I'm making the best app. The Caesar Sportsbook app got live in-game betting, parlays, and Caesar rewards. Caesar salad ain't got nothing on my app. Nothing!
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app. Your app is ready, Emperor.
When we at AmericanEagle.com were asked by our client, Repair Clinic, to, repair their website, our digital marketing experts, like Tim, rolled up their sleeves and got to work. If you know Tim, you know that he loves a good challenge, which meant that this project was pretty much the highlight of Tim's year. From improving slow-loading performance that plagued our client's site to slashing duplicate pages and building an optimized sitemap, Tim was like a real-life action hero, but of website optimization. And our client reaped the benefits with major strides in their SEO, like more traffic, impressions, and revenue. Tim and the team even helped them create search and email marketing campaigns and better ongoing analytics tracking. However complex your digital challenges, from digital marketing and strategy to web development, UX, and more, talk to the experts at AmericanEagle.com. Don't just grow, soar.
Ever since you Dirks Bentley. Ears on Me Tour 2021. Friday, October 15th, Ruoff Music Center. And he's bringing along special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny. 'Cause on me, can't get over you. And the Cadillac 3. Dirks Bentley, live in concert. I'm getting drunk on the plane. Reserved seat tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save up to $150 off select tires now through October 31st. Only at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires, the team you trust.
The Ride with JMV.
Let me have a Diablo sandwich, a Dr. Pepper. Make it fast. I'm in a damn hurry.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, welcome back. Average Joe's. We're in Broad Ripple, Bud Light Blue Friday. Thank you for joining us. Mike Wells had to bail. I think Mike's actually going on the road to Baltimore. So, substitution. Matt Taylor, the voice of the Colts, will join us coming up at the 4 o'clock hour. Don Fisher, 5 o'clock hour. Rob Sabatini is going to be with us in a bit. We're looking for you because we have stuff to give away, courtesy of Bud Light. Good friends at Zinc are here right now. We've got ice-cold Bud Light. I'm sitting in the window, and all you got to do is slide by for your chance at Colts and Texans tickets. You can either win it by chance or try to win it via the football toss. We got plenty of time for you. So get here. In the heart of Broad Ripple, we are at Average Joe's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Friend of the show. Got him coming up later on tonight at 9:30. Tomorrow night at 9:30. It is on the network Indiana-affiliated stations across the state. Indiana Sports Talk. Our friend Bob Lovell joins us. Hello, Bob. How are you?
Hey, John. I'm great. How are you?
Man, I am ready to go. It is already week number 8 of the high school football season, which is amazing. And you got some teams kind of getting outside the state for matchups tonight, don't you?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you have Cathedral now they're playing Brebeuf. I'm sorry to say that, but you do have some teams. Sometimes you get to this point in the year, you're trying to get yourself ready for tournament play. Conference obligations are not necessarily there, and so you get a chance, you get a break to play some good teams, and it's kind of fun, really, because it gives you something to point toward as you get ready for the tournament. And as you point out, the tournament's coming up soon. Paul Condry and I are doing the pairing show Sunday night at 5 o'clock on our stations, plus a whole lot of others around the state.
Yeah, it is going to be a blast. There's no doubt about that. But we've got a couple of big-time matchups. I know for one, Roncalli's going to Cincinnati Elder. I don't know a great deal about them. I know historically at Elder they have a fantastic program. I don't know about this year in particular, but there's one thing that has been done on the south side with Roncalli. I mean, with the title a year ago, being unbeaten so far and probably in line to go back-to-back, the normalcy has been reestablished there, has it not, with winning at the highest level?
There's no question. And, you look at what they were able to do last year and win a championship. And you talk about turning things around in a short amount of time. You already have the foundation. You already have great success, one of the most successful programs in the history of the school. So John Rodenfeld and his guys rolled in. And, he came from Ohio having won a state championship there. And so his credentials are tremendous. And it's just amazing how he was able, in the middle of a pandemic, John, not having contact with his guys, being able to come in, implement his system, and go out there and win big. And now with a lot more time and effort and being together with one another, that they are a juggernaut, as you like to say, at this particular point.
And that's what they were used to down there. And that's what they've reestablished again, too. And it's been a fantastic run for them. There's no doubt.
Yeah, it has been. And I think right now, I mean, if you look at them, and we've talked about this before, you look at 6A with Center Grove, 5A with Cathedral, 4A with Roncalli. The prevailing thought seems to be these are the defending champs, and someone's going to have to do something that hasn't been done to this point to change that. And those three schools look like if they continue to play at this level and avoid injuries, might possibly be able to repeat.
Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk tomorrow night joins us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. 5-2 Fishers, 6-1 Westfield tonight at 7:00.
Westfield's good. I mean, Fishers is getting better. This Westfield team, refresh everyone's memory, played for a championship a year ago. A lot of those guys back. They're playing very, very well. They've been hard to score on. So Fisher's team, as I pointed out, has really come on and played very, very well at this particular time. I love this matchup. It feels to me it's kind of like a regional or a semi-state matchup when you look at how good both these teams really are.
Hey, when you look up to northern Indiana, especially northwest Indiana, what stands out? I know that there's a 6-1 Valpo team going on up there, too. Is it kind of the sense of normalcy at the top of each class as far as northwest, north central Indiana is concerned, Bob?
Well, John, you mentioned Valpo being at 6-1, and last Friday, Valpo got dismantled. I mean, dismantled by Merrillville. Merrillville's really, really good. Probably in the 6A class, Merrillville is, after that convincing win last, opened everybody's eyes. They're a solid team. Chesterton is ranked. They're pretty good in 6A. Hobart is back. They're ranked. They've been down a couple of years, so they're coming back too. And so it's I think you're right. I think the programs that you've talked about, Valpo, that was their first loss of the year that had started out, and so you got Valpo, Chesterton, Merrillville, or the three heavyweights right now in 6A, and I guess it's back to normal because those are teams that are familiar with a lot of people.
He is Bob Lovell, Indiana Sports Talk via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. You mentioned this a little bit earlier. Cathedral and Brebeuf. I know Brebeuf's lone loss was on the road at Roncalli. Cathedral has been right there with, when we're talking about a team like Center Grove as far as the unbeatens are concerned. What's not to like about that matchup tonight?
Well, it's a great matchup. In the interest of fairness, my grandson's a graduate of BJPS, so that's that. But I say these things, in that regard. But Cathedral, John, just like Center Grove, just like Roncalli, they're hard to score against. That's been their big thing. It's been their foundation. Their offense is coming along, young quarterback getting better and better. But what's kept them where they are, they're running the ball well, but they have just gone out from their first ball game and locked people up defensively. And so this will be a really, really good matchup. I mean, again, it comes – you're at this point in the year, you're week number 8, and so you need to be playing your best football, and why not go out and play some of the best teams around to find out?
Well, I mean, and especially, Cathedral has a long-standing tradition of doing that, and then, on that schedule, their measuring stick's going to be CG coming up here relatively soon as well.
That's going to be a fantastic game. It's hard not to look past this weekend to talk about that game. I love the fact that those two schools are willing to play each other in that last weekend of the season. I think it's fantastic. And what better preparation do you have than to play a team of that caliber as you finish up your regular season?
Yeah, he's Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Morgan County's got a matchup at 5-2. Mooresville and Martinsville from Martinsville tonight, Bob.
Well, that's a rivalry in any sport they play, John. You know that. They're so close to one another. And, yeah, it's a big rivalry. Mooresville got kind of rocked last week. Martinsville continues to get better. I love this matchup. It's one I would find hard to find a favorite in because both of them, I think, within their sectional. That's a pretty loaded sectional, but both have played well. Mooresville still, off last year's season playing well, retooled a little bit, passing it a lot more with great efficiency. If they're able to get some things going through the air, it's going to be a really interesting night.
So Bob Lovell with us. I know Jeremiah Wheatley wanted me to bring up Danville. I think Danville's got Western Boone tonight. Is that the matchup?
They play Weibo tonight. That's exactly right. And Danville, played for a championship a year ago. As a Plainfield graduate, it's hard for me to find good things about Danville, but I'm just trying to be truthful. But no, they're playing well. And, Western Boone is a great story, John. They've won 2 straight championships. And this was the team where everyone was looking at going, well, they won't be able to do what the previous 2 did. And what they've done is just go out there and continue to win at a high level. And so this is really, I love this game because, they're so close to each other, distance-wise. They've played each other for a long time. There's great respect between both communities. And so, yeah, this is a great matchup for both Danville and Western Boone.
All right, what else have we not talked about, Bob, to this point as a part of week number 8 of the high school football season?
Well, I think, John, what's the big part of week number 8 is the fact that you're obviously 2 weeks away from getting ready to go play. And so, as I mentioned, we have the pairing show coming up Sunday. There's an awful lot involved in that, and everybody will be, I think, anxiously by their radios or watching online on ihsatv.org to find out who's going to be playing whom. And so I think more than anything, you have great games not only tonight but next week. And as you get ready, you're trying to build that momentum. You're trying to find something if you don't have momentum. And it's just one of those, we continue to have fantastic weather. And so, quite frankly, it's just another great Friday night.
So, Bob Lovell, you got the college football show tomorrow.
Got that. We're doing that in spite of the fact that no IU and Purdue. We are still on and anticipating a great contribution from you and others. So your trees are in action at home tomorrow against Western Illinois, taking on the Leathernecks. So that's a game to pay attention to. Ball State is at Western Michigan. And Notre Dame down with enter the Sandman down at Virginia Tech. So everybody will be excited to watch the beginning of that game so they can catch that entrance. And then you got some great small college matchup. Marion at Indiana Wesleyan, 2 heavyweights in the NAIA. That'll be a tremendous game, to be honest. And so full day of football. Lots to talk about with someone like you and John. Matt Surface making a long-awaited return to his show tomorrow. Whoa. He's going to be with us. Oh, yeah.
What's the special occasion about here?
Well, the special occasion is I haven't talked to him for a while. I wanted to catch up with him, right? So he's probably, he's going to join me early on in the show. He'll probably miss you, but, it'll be great to have him back and try to catch up with him. His son Blake's a redshirt freshman at Indiana State. Has done well. He's had the opportunity to learn from others, and according to Matt, he has a great future ahead of him if he can stay injury free. He's going to see some great playing time next year, and he's doing very well. So, a lot to catch up on with our guy.
Nothing wrong with that. I'll be there for you as well. Right before I start at 6:00 tomorrow night, I'll be right there in studio with you guys.
You see, the difference now is that you're already in the Emmis building, and so we're catching you as you walk in the studio. And so, in the past, I would worry about whether you'd be only in your underwear in your garage when you would call us, and that happened more than once. And so, It's a little less exciting to know that you're just normal as you can be when you come in the studio.
Yep. I know. It's a little bit different, maybe not as fun when I'm riding around and telling you where I am or something like that.
Yeah,
but,
catching up with you and you're catching up with you and your travels through eastern Greene County and other locales down in southwestern Indiana. While I think that's exciting, I also think that, this is more business-like because you got to get prepared for the big takeover.
That's tomorrow night, 6 until midnight. I'll be with Bob on the college football show around about probably, 5:35 or so coming up tomorrow afternoon.
That sounds good. We'll call you.
Have a great evening, and then tomorrow night as well on the big show. And I was down in Franklin on Monday for the golf outing, and Ted Bishop and Legends. It was incredible, Bob. As always, incredible. I mean, never, ever is it not just at the highest level there.
Well, congratulations to you and Teachers Treasures. I congratulate you on a great effort to something near and dear to your heart, and to Christy's heart, and mine as a former teacher. And so I think it's cool what you do. And Ted and his crew, everyone out at Legends, they're really, really good at what they do. There's a reason why a great number of outings go there, because it's a first-rate course. They're treated well, and you can have a good day. And so I'm happy that it went well for you. Sorry I didn't get a chance to catch up with you, but I'm glad you were in town and kind of feeling that Franklin vibe that is so good right now.
I can't lie to you. And there's no competition in it, so I'm going to feel nice to I had to slide by Enzo's. I did. Right down there off 31. So
yeah, I mean, we frequent Enzo's occasionally. Absolutely. No question. You should have stopped by the house and said hello. My wife would have, she would have made you stay out on the porch, but other than that, you should have stopped by.
Well, you don't want me tracking in or anything like that.
That's what I'm saying.
clearly, hi there. Clearly, I would. So, hey, have a great show tonight and tomorrow, and I'll catch you about 5:35 coming up tomorrow. Thank you, Bob. Bob Lovell of Indiana Sports Talk is with us on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. I am in the window. We are on Broad Ripple Avenue. I am in Average Joe's on a Bud Light Blue Friday. I have Texans Colts tickets to give away, but your ass has to be here to win those. So get here either way, by chance in our giveaway or from a football toss. You can do that. I got a couple of minutes. We can work at 239-1070 coming up on the other side. We don't have a great deal of time all day long, so if you want to get in, it'd be nice if you were to get in here relatively soon. Matt Taylor, top of the hour. Rob Sabatini is going to stop by also on the 4. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, and a lot more. And remember, 5:30 we bail. I shouldn't say we bail because I'm still going to be doing a show. 5:30 we go to Colts Happy Hour, 5:30 until 6:30, and then pace a pregame for them. That preseason game up in Cleveland coming up later on tonight as well. In Broad Ripple, Average Joe's, Bud Light Blue Friday. We're back with you next.
Kids, this fall, tell your parents about Forum Credit Union's Sprout of the Month contest, where you could win $100 in a Sprout account. Details at 1075thefan.com.
A mortgage refinance can help lower your interest rate, reduce your monthly payments, or access some of your home equity as cash. But what exactly does it take to get started, and how can you know if it's right for you? That part is easy. Call my friends at American Financing, America's home for home loans. Dan Dockage here, and I like American Financing because of their free, no obligation mortgage reviews, meaning no pressure and no upfront or hidden fees, just a simple conversation around ways you can save up to $1,000 a month. That's right, a month. Because their salary-based mortgage consultants look at your entire financial picture so they can save you the most money. They really are in it for you, and they'll get you pre-qualified for free when you call 463-223-1418. That's 463-223-1418, or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Hey, it's John here in NFL Week 5. It is also here, right? So FanDuel Sportsbook wants you to get the most out of every single play. Here's what I think you should do here, right? Same game parlay bet, 3 legs or more, and if your bet doesn't win, FanDuel is going to pay you back. up to $10. So how do you want to utilize that? For example, Chargers and Browns coming up in Southern California. That is going to be the dog pound West Coast, no doubt about it. But no, we're looking at what Justin Herbert does compared to Baker Mayfield. A lot of things you can do with that same game parlay and do it in style with FanDuel Sportsbook. 30-1 odds on either team to win on Monday night as well. That's the Colts and the Ravens from Baltimore. FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code JMV. FanDuel Sportsbook, promo code JMV. 21 plus and present in Indiana. Refund issued is now withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $10. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Same game parlay available for multiple sports in all states on mobile and or web. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
Looking for the perfect spot to spend your game day? Head to Twin Peaks, where the 29-degree draft beer is flowing, the kitchen is bursting with made-from-scratch fan favorites, and the game is blasting from every angle. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
Hey, it's John from my friends at Big Red Liquors. Have you heard the news? October's got a big deal along with it, does it not? Have you heard about October? Yes, they are giving you a chance to win the right to buy a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle. If you love bourbon, you probably heard of the legend of Pappy Van Winkle, and they're going to pick winners in the month of October and reserve the right to buy a bottle. And they're tough to come by. They're going to have it for you with Big Red Liquors. Also, they're going to have great bourbon deals going on throughout the month of October. But yeah, Pappy, if you've never had it before, check it out, and maybe you can win it as well. 59 Big Red Liquors locations here in the state of Indiana. You don't have to buy anything, but you do have to be 21 when you sign up at the 59 Big Red Liquors locations. Otherwise, for all the information you need, BigRedLiquors.com today.
Monday, October 11th, the Colts are on the road in Baltimore for an AFC showdown in primetime. It's Monday Night Football, and Wish TV is your station for the game. Carson Wentz goes head-to-head with Lamar Jackson. Monday night, October 11th, and Wish TV is on the road with all the exclusive coverage before, during, and after the game. Colts, Ravens, Monday Night Football. Watch Monday, October 11th on Wish TV. Get even more exclusive access at WishTV.com when you follow Wish TV on Facebook.
We've done it again.
Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With a 1.875% rate and home values up, you can get more cash out now.
Call 317-706-GOLD today and make no mortgage payments until next year.
Golden Oak Landing cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Hey, JMV here for Aurora Sleep Clinic. My friends Brian Evans and Dr. Steve Green turned me on to this because they knew that I had trouble sleeping by virtue of my awful snoring, and nothing ever worked. I went to Aurora Sleep Clinic. They set me up with a simple, comfortable, and affordable custom-fit mouthpiece. I wear it at night. Incredibly, my snoring has stopped. If you have a snoring issue and it's costing you bed rest, if it's making you tired and grumpy, anything like that, give this a try. StopYourSnoreNow.com or 317-482-7900. In fact, use that number right now and tell them I sent you. 317-482-7900. They're going to set you up with a custom-fit mouthpiece for 7 days, and they're going to let you try that thing on yourself and see what you think. Believe me, it's a big difference maker with me, and it will be with you as well. If you struggle with snoring, check them out. That's Aurora Sleep Clinic today. StopYourSnoreNow.com, or for that 7-day trial, 317-482-7900. Tell them I sent you today.
My first plan to spice up the NFL season was to add man-eating tigers to the game. We lost a lot of great players that day, and that was my bad. Now I'm bringing you the Caesars Sportsbook app. It's got live in-game betting, parlays, and Caesars rewards, people. It's even better than Tiger Ball.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
Do you need furnace or heat pump service and need to find a local well-trained expert you can trust like Family Heating and Air Conditioning? We'll find that American Standard air dealer at IndyHomeComfort.com.
Hey, join me on Monday. We're going to talk to Fish. We're also going to talk to Sean Salisbury as we get you ready for Monday Night Football. Colts, Ravens, Monday Night Football. Count me in. Let's talk noon to 3.
The Ride with JMV.
I don't understand a word you just said.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Average Joe's Broad Ripple. Bud Light Blue Friday. Cam's the on-site engineer. Kyle's back at the station. Love to see you guys out here. Your chance to win Texans Colts tickets. That is the week from Sunday back home matchup for the Colts. Of course, they got one to go on the road. The third of 3 straight in Baltimore coming up on Monday night. JMV at 1070thefan.com is the email address. JMV saw your setup in the window at Average Joe's, and I yelled out a big JMV sucks. And now my 2-year-old in the back seat just keeps yelling JMV sucks, JMV sucks, JMV sucks. That is awesome. Alex Reef, shout out to you, brother. I always enjoy that, man. If you guys are driving by here on Broad Ripple Avenue, I mean, let her fly. Let her fly. I mean, nobody appreciates that more than I do. Let them go. No doubt about that. At JMV 1070 on Twitter, Jeremiah Wheatley, I mentioned, big-time Danville fan out there, getting you prepared for Week 8 of the high school football season. Bob Lovell just joined us. The podcast, 1075thefan.com. Hey, I like this reverse angle. Look at that. That's a hot piece of something in the window right there, let me tell you. That is good looking. Anyway, you got afternoon baseball working right now. In what is, you look at the White Sox and what transpired yesterday, got to get one here, don't you? 2-1 Astros over the White Sox. Game 2 of the ALDS. Top of the 5th inning. That is going on right now down in Houston. Yesterday, the Astros, full ownership of that game. And Lance Lynn from Brownsburg with the struggles, to say the least. You got 3 more divisional series games later on tonight. A pair of game 1s, Braves and Brewers, 4:37 this afternoon from Milwaukee. Dodgers and Giants also on the senior circuit. That's a 9:37 game 1 start from San Fran later on tonight. Now tucked in between that, a little bit after 7, Red Sox and Rays. Game 2 of that divisional round series in the AL with the Rays up 1-0 last night by virtue of that win. So we'll keep you updated certainly on the White Sox and the Astros. And then, of course, once we dive into the 4 o'clock hour, about 30 or so minutes after the Braves and Brewers will fire up from Milwaukee coming up later on this afternoon. There's Joe Smith right there. My man. Hey, you got to give me – there we go. There we go. Good to see you, brother. Let me take a break. We'll come back. Voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor, is going to join us on the other side. What he saw about this matchup with the Ravens a year ago, he called it. And we're going to go back and forth on how you might be able to get a first half which was more of a complete game, if that is even feasible. Even a possibility on the road in Baltimore coming up on Monday night. Matt's going to join us coming up top of the hour. Don Fisher still to come too. Average Joe's. We are in Broad Ripple. Bud Light Blue Friday. You can join us here in the heart of Broad Ripple on 93.5, 107.5. The stream, the app, and HD Radio 93.1 WIBC. If you have that in your ride, check it out. It's crystal clear. Back with you next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save up to $150 off select tires now through October 31st. Only at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires, the team you trust.
Sign up today at BetMGM and enjoy the thrill of victory on your very first bet. The King of Sportsbooks welcomes you to Showtime with a special offer on playoff baseball. Simply place a $10 moneyline wager on any playoff game, and if either team hits a home run in the game, you'll win $200 in free bets regardless of your bet's outcome. Just use bonus code THEFAN200, that's all one word, capital T, capital F, when you make your first bet to take advantage of this offer. Enjoy the playoffs like never before with BetMGM's live betting options, boosted odds specials, and daily promotions at your fingertips for every game. Download the app or go to BetMGM.com and use that bonus code. Again, that's the FAN200, all one word, to win $200 in free bets if a home run is hit in the game you wager on. Nothing beats a W at BetMGM. New customer offer, paid in free bets. Visit BetMGM.com for terms and conditions. Indiana only, must be 21 or older to wager. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem and wants help, call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
I'm going to give you a number of security right now, and not the type of security you're thinking about. The security of peace of mind, knowing that if you have a plumbing issue and it ceases running water in your home, or something's overflowing, or the sump pump has an issue, these are all emergency types of situations. So have this number handy, 317-284-9526. That's Lance and his local team at LD Smith Plumbing. They are the best. You want to know why I'm telling you this? Is because I know from experience. I've had the easy things done. They came in, garbage disposal didn't work out, new one in. I also had an emergency where I didn't have any water. On a Sunday morning, they came right out and got the job done. That is 24/7, 365. That's the type of security I'm talking about. That's your peace of mind with the best. LD Smith Plumbing, 317-284-9526, online, ldsmithplumbing.com today.
As a red-blooded IU fan, you know when something's homegrown, Hoosier authentic. That's why you'll love Indiana Kitchen premium pork products. Indiana Kitchen's a real Indiana company that partners with its surrounding family farms to deliver the highest quality, best-tasting pork you can buy. Like Indiana Kitchen bacon. It's cut a little thicker and smoked over natural hardwood for a hearty Hoosier flavor no other brand can match. One taste and you'll know why more people are saying, my brand is Indiana. Find out more at indianakitchen.com.
Hey, John, for PAI, it's WeGrowHairIndy.com. If you're losing your hair and you want to reestablish that real, and I mean real hair growth, Darren Andrews can help you out at 888-724-5129. It's your real growing hair again with PAI. He'll explain to you the technology, the procedures, and then show you how you can reestablish your real hair growth. At one place, PAI, 888-724-5129 or WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Best service, best products. Do it best.
Hi, Brian Baker here of Builders Lumber and Hardware, your locally owned Shelbyville home center. Faucet got the drips? Toilet flapper not flapping? Installing a new light fixture? Need a fresh coat of paint? Whether it's a quick fix or a weekend project, when it comes to home repair, look no further. We've got you covered.
Add style and update your lock sets with a brand you can trust, like Quickset Lock Sets, the Tylo Entry Lock Set for keyed exterior doors. The classic design of the Tylo is at home in any decor. It's the style that lends a graceful finish to any door. For extra security, add a Quickset single-cylinder deadbolt. Quickset at your neighborhood do-it-best store.
Shop local. Shop Do It Best. We're located at 1309 Miller Avenue in Shelbyville or online at blhsupply.com. Builders Lumber and Hardware. Building relationships one project at a time.
Best service, best products. Do it best.
All right, let me tell you about planning for retirement. I don't know if I'm supposed to be there right now or what, but I do know this. I need advice. I mean, I'm probably past the stage now, but I always need sound financial advice, and Kevin and the gang at Forum Credit Union can help me out. They can help you out as well. The awareness of common mistakes made when planning your retirement. There are so many pitfalls out there, and let Kevin and the gang help you out with all of those and then some, and always creating better ways to help you save. And especially in this case, your retirement preparation with Forum Credit Union. Stop by one of the 7 branch locations today. I should check that. Stop by one of the branch locations today and ask for Kevin. Meantime, for more information on retirement pitfalls, the Sprout account, and more of these original savings ideas, it's forumcu.com today.
The first bet on Caesar Sportsbook app is up to $5,000 risk-free, people. When I told my team about the idea, they said I was being too wonderful and magnificent. But I don't care how awesome this makes me. I'm doing this for the people. So just download the app, and that first bet is up to $5,000 risk-free. Caesar made an app for the people, people.
Must be 21. Offer valid in Indiana only and for new players. Paid in bet credits. Terms and conditions apply. See Caesars.com/promos. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
This year, our average client saved over $350 a month with an easy rate reduction refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. NMLS number 1326-241.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2 W298BB. WIBC HD3 W228CX. Indianapolis.
The Pacers head to Cleveland for some preseason action with the Cavs. This evening at 6:30 on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Whenever we need a brilliant insight, he's available at the drop of a hat.
Hey, Mom! I'm done with my segment!
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Average Joe's in Broad Ripple. That's our site today, Bud Light Blue Friday. Stop on in. Maybe get you set up with a pair of Texans Colts tickets, courtesy of our friends at Bud Light here. That's a chopper. It's a chopper, baby. That's not Zed's chopper. Anybody get Zed's chopper? Anybody get that reference? That's not Zed's chopper. Nobody? Come on now. Anyway, Don Fisher, 5 o'clock hour. Bob Love a little bit earlier. The podcast, 1075thefan.com. I got to be better. If I haven't taught you that much yet, what have I really taught you? That's problematic. Heart of Broad Ripple, Average Joe's. Sabatini's going to be on here bottom of the hour. Don Fisher after 5. Remember, Colts Happy Hour, 5:30 to 6:30. Pacer pregame. Cavaliers hosting the Pacers preseason game 2 coming up later on tonight. So time is of the essence. So we'll get to the voice of the Colts right now via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. When I mention the word chopper, which is a motorcycle, Matt, and you hear it in the background, and I say Zed's chopper or Zed's dead, baby, Zed's dead, anything come to your mind?
I knew you were going to ask me this. And I fail again at one of JMV's pop culture tests.
Dang it!
Sorry.
What have I taught you? I have failed miserably with everybody here.
The only, me, like I'm like you in a different sense. I've got a different set of things that are just like butterflying around in my head. When I think of chopper, I think of Schwarzenegger, right? Like get in the chopper, get down, the chopper. Like that's what I think. So I got a different connotation than you do.
Here's what's incredibly unfortunate. I have, because you're here on the phone, Tony Donahue is here at Average Joe's, Kyle Udemark's back at the station. I have 3 generations of closely working folks to this show, and not one damn one of you knows what I'm talking about here. That's all on me.
I mean, that's probably on you because, I mean, you're talking about 3 guys that are pretty, dialed in, pretty clued in to what's going on around them. So, I mean, you're like niche wormhole reference there is probably not all that prevalent. It's more on you.
Yeah, it is. Hey, listen, I'll own stuff like this. I'm owning this. I mean, there's no way. I go all the way back to 2010, and I drop a Pulp Fiction reference on everybody here, and not one of you trio gets it. It's incredible.
Well, I've seen. Well, that's the problem. I've seen Pulp Fiction, but I probably didn't pay attention enough to get your reference right there.
Well, and I will say this, it's Tarantino, thus it's going to be lengthy and wordy. And I love Tarantino, but my God, does he have some dialogue. It's going to be lengthy and it's going to be wordy. And it's one of those things where you got to watch it a bunch of times to get a lot of it. So I will give you that.
If you would have dropped like a honey bun, like stay calm, honey bun, I would have got that from Pulp Fiction, but not your motorcycle reference.
You want me? If I would have gone, if any of you blankety blanks move, I am going to execute every. You want me to go that direction too? I can do that if you like.
Just put the wallet in the bag. Just put the wallet in the bag.
bad. You know water on it. It's what it's on. So anyway,
stay cool, man. Stay cool. Stay cool.
I should have gone that direction, but the chopper went by, and that's the first thing that occurred to me. Now, as I teased the audience before we went to the top of the hour break, I've given my thoughts on what went down between the Colts and the Ravens a year ago and why that first half was so good, and then things went directly into the crapper for the Colts in the second half of that game at Lucas Oil Stadium. And it all started with just in the first half defensively, I thought they were so good against Lamar Jackson. And in the second half, I mean, both sides of the football, it almost seemed like oftentimes, and that's what the Ravens want to do, they want to out-tough you. It seems like on both sides of the football in that game a year ago, in the second half, the Colts indeed got out-toughed more than they didn't.
I mean, there's a lot of nuance in between all of that, but I mean, to keep it simple, if you're just describing the game to somebody from outer space, that's pretty much what happened, because that is their calling card. That is their brand of football. They are a very physical team. That's what their franchise is known for, and the Colts have to rise to that occasion. I talked to Matt Eberflus about that this week, and he acknowledged, you got to be physical every single week. This is the NFL. There's no cupcakes, but they kind of take it to the next level. And you're right. In the first half last year in that game, the Colts only allowed 55 yards of offense to Baltimore in the first half. And they shut their offense out. They had 7 points in the first half, but that came on a takeaway. Their defense scored a touchdown. It was a 65-yard scoop and score by their safety, Chuck Clark, on a Jonathan Taylor fumble. But then in the second half, Baltimore, to their credit, they just weren't going to bang their head against the wall and drive up the definition of insanity and trying to do the same thing over and over again. Lamar Jackson, to his credit, made a lot of plays, and they went to that intermediate passing game, and they moved the ball down the field against the Colts. They had 211 yards of offense in the second half of that game, and he was really good, Jackson, that is. He was 80% completion percentage, threw for over 200 yards, had 2 touchdown passes, and they got some things going outside of the running game. And that's really what Jackson's been doing these last couple of weeks as well. Last week against Denver, they ran the ball, sort of to their tune. I mean, at least 100 yards, but it's not like they ran wild against Denver, who played well against the run. But they made Jackson beat them, and he did. And, in fact, 2 of his 3 biggest passing games of his career have come in the last 2 weeks. And he's thrown for 275 at least the last 2 games, 316 last week against Denver. And so he's never going to be known, I don't think, for making plays with his arm based on what he can do with his feet and his legs. But that being said, he is getting better. He is gradually better at making plays in the passing game. His completion percentage, I don't think is ever going to be, where the elite guys are, Brady and Mahomes and, some of these high completion percentage quarterbacks. But that being said, when he does complete passes, they're big ones. He leads the NFL so far this season in passing plays over 20, despite his completion percentage being near the bottom. I think the only quarterbacks that he has a better completion percentage over right now are Trevor Lawrence and Davis Mills, who have played a combined 8 games so far in their NFL careers. So he's not going to consistently beat you, but if you give up big plays, they obviously are adept at moving the ball down the field with the chunks. So it's a delicate balance in how the Colts scheme and game plan for them defensively, which obviously led to them spending some time in the offseason getting ready for such a unique offense with that unique quarterback in Lamar Jackson that can play like college football on Saturdays with the NCAA RPO game, but he also has made plays down the field, and they're pushing the ball down the field more this year than they ever had with him at quarterback.
Matt Taylor's the voice of the Colts, so the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline live in Baltimore for you coming up on Monday night. And that matchup with the Ravens in Baltimore for the Colts. He's on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Yeah, you mentioned this too, and I remember a year ago Marquise Brown wasn't really happy about how he was being utilized down the field as that down-the-field threat. Seems like all that has certainly quieted down since. And the other thing I think that occurs to me out of this is, I mean, they have had just a mass unit of injuries, especially in the running back position, to the point where you get Le'Veon Bell, Latavius Murray, Dante Freeman, I think is on that roster someplace, on the practice squad, on the active roster, whatever. But it seems like you bring dudes in, especially veteran guys that have done it at a higher level before, And you can just kind of settle in behind Lamar Jackson, and it's going to give you the opportunity to turn back that clock a little bit, even with guys that may have been better, in the season of 2015 or 2016 than they would be in 2021.
No, and it goes back to what we talked about. Their identity as a franchise, it's being physical, and they're tough, and they make no excuses. I mean, like you said, they have a NFL league-high 17 players on injured reserve so far this season. And it's not like a bunch of role players that, just no big deal and you don't think anything of it. I mean, it's their starting left tackle, Ronnie Stanley, who's a Pro Bowl player. It's their two running backs, like you said, and J.K. Dobbins and Gus Edwards. It's Marcus Peters. They've got a couple of other offensive linemen on there. I mean, the list kind of goes on and on and on. And even still, despite all of that, they're 3-1. They're 3-1. And so they've been banged up more than the Colts, and they're getting the job done. And that's what their motto is as a franchise, and that's what the Colts are aspiring to be in terms of, having depth on their roster, which I think the Colts do. This is not a criticism in terms of how they're built, but give credit to the Ravens where credit is due is, they've been able to overcome this and still find ways to win. And they've got some big wins on the season. Their marquee win is against Kansas City in week number 2. They outlasted them 36-35. But like you said, as long as they have Lamar Jackson, they've got a chance to win. And, they're making do with guys like Devontae Freeman, Le'Veon Bell's on their practice squad. But really it's a running back by committee approach that they have in Taysom Williams. They've got Murray, the former Oakland Raider. And so they're making it work in the running game. They're third in the NFL in rushing so far this season. But like I said, as long as they have Jackson, they've got Brown on the outside, Sammy Watkins on the outside making plays, and then Mark Andrews, their tight end, has really stepped up. Nick Boyle, one of their other starting tight ends, he's on IR. So they're just taking on this mantra, next man up. It sounds cliche, but right now the Baltimore Ravens are the living embodiment of it, and they're getting the job done week in, week out to the tune of 3 wins and 1 loss. And they've been on prime time. This is coming up on Monday night. This is going to be their 3rd primetime game already, and they're showing to the rest of the NFL how to get it done despite having a lot of attrition on their roster.
It's Matt Taylor joining us now. One other thing that stands out to me, and I mean, maybe if you're an analytics person, you can show me numbers where this doesn't really matter. But to me, it always has seemed like Calais Campbell defensively, wherever he goes, it upgrades. Not only, just him being a part of it on the field, but the rest of that defense as well. I mean, you even saw signs of it in Jacksonville. Certainly you saw signs of it while in Arizona, and you see it here as well. I don't know where that would rate as far as tangible realness is concerned here, but it just kind of seems like wherever he goes, it makes that defense a lot better. And I guess the one thing he does bring to the table, that veteran influence, and that they love the way that he plays and what he does leadership quality-wise on the defensive side of the football with that Ravens team.
No, I think you hit the nail right in the head right there, because Calais Campbell is a big-time leader wherever he goes, and he leads by example. I don't really know him personally. I've obviously never covered him. He's never been on the team that I've covered. But just watching from afar, he looks like a guy that backs it up with his verbal actions, with his physical actions on the field, if that makes any sense. He is a fantastic player, and he backs it up every single year by making the Pro Bowl. He's a 6-time Pro Bowler, and he's got tremendous character. He is the Walter Payton Man of the Year for the entire NFL, which is probably the most prestigious honor that a league gives out in terms of, on the field recognition, productivity, but then community service, just being a great guy inside your organization. He won that for the entire league just a couple of years ago, and he lifts everybody up. I mean, we saw in Jacksonville, those two guys, Yannick Ngakoue and Calais Campbell, they had field days at times in a different era of the Colts going up against them. He's always played well against Indianapolis. I think he's 6-3 all time against the Colts. This is his 10th game. He was kind of quiet last year. Didn't stuff the box score in terms of tackles for loss and sacks and things like that, disruptive plays in last year's game. But he's always a guy that you have to account for. And now that Justin Houston is on the other side, Watch out for those guys. And this is what Baltimore wants to do. They want to rotate a lot of players, and I talked about that this week a lot of times. What they want to do is get you in 3rd and long. That goes without saying. But when they do that, man, they can put in Board the linebacker, they can put in Young the cornerback, and they will blitz you like crazy. Don Martindale is their defensive coordinator, and they will blitz from every single angle, and they'll bring a lot of different guys. It doesn't matter. I mean, they had a game last year where they had 6 sacks, and a lot of them came from, their corners against Joe Burrow and the Cincinnati Bengals. So you basically need a PhD in blitz pickup if you're in 3rd and 8, 3rd and 9 in this game. And it's going to be a huge test for the Colts on offense with that offensive line to protect, but also to know, hey, what are the defensive principles here? Who's coming? Who's backing in coverage when we're in 3rd and long? And I think that's a big reason why the Colts spent a lot of time in the offseason specifically game planning for this defense, knowing they are multiple and they're complex under Don Martindale, their defensive coordinator.
Is Matt Taylor joining us? I saw this, at least what I felt, in Miami on Sunday, and I want to see what you felt as well, calling it game-wise. Not only did you see, and he's mentioned that this week already, Carson Wentz, you saw him in that second half especially start to feel better, be more mobile. I thought that spin move that he made, the spin and throw, kind of announced his presence being back and kind of shaking off certainly the way that he looked in Nashville the week prior. The other thing, Matt, that stood out to me is he's gaining trust in guys now, whether it's Mo Alley-Cox, Jack Doyle, Michael Pittman Jr., and not in trust that they're just going to catch it when he throws it to them, but trust in taking chances, throwing it up, these guys going up, and coming down with the ball. That's something that we had not seen very much, if at all, up until that point of the second half on Sunday. I thought it was really prevalent.
I think Carson Wentz has been fantastic. I mean, I know the Colts are 1-3, but if you want to make a list of reasons why, Carson Wentz, I don't even think makes your list. I think he's been really, really solid for this football team, and I think he would be even better had it not been for his ankle injuries in Week 3 against Tennessee. I'm saying if he's healthy in that game, I think the Colts win that game, to be honest with you, because I think they were kind of hamstrung on what they could call and what they could do based on his mobility or lack thereof in that game. I mean, if you look at what he's been able to accomplish so far, he's got 138 pass attempts, only 1 interception, and even that was kind of fluky. That was that shovel pass down the goal line that was intercepted by the Rams when Jack Doyle was knocked off his route by Aaron Donald. Outside of that, he's been perfect. And like you said, he is knowing he's doing a good job of balancing when to push the ball down the field, but also take care of it at the same time. And if you look at what he's doing so far this year as compared to his first 4 games last year, in Philadelphia at this time, John, he already had 7 picks. His passer rating so far in 4 games this year with the Colts is 25 points higher than it was last year through 4 games with the Eagles. Right now it's at 92, and not that passer rating is the end-all, be-all, but it's a good measurement on how we decide if quarterbacks are, taking the next steps or if they're elite or not, if you will. And this is what Frank Reich does. I mean, we saw it last year with Phillip Rivers. We saw it in 2018 with Andrew Luck. He takes these quarterbacks and he really improves them in one or multiple big quarterback measurable areas, whether that's passer rating or yards per attempt or just total yards or interceptions are down. Just taking care of the football. I mean, Carson Wentz is playing very, very well right now, and he's doing a good job for this football team. And I think he's balancing, again, knowing when to push the ball down the field, but also protecting at the same time, and is getting a lot of people involved. And I think he's also building some rapport. As you said, Jack Doyle, Mo Alley-Cox. I mean, Michael Pittman Jr. is having a breakout season so far. And I asked Frank Reich about this today. I think there is a comparison between Wentz in Week 4 and Phillip Rivers after Week 5 last year. Both guys, it seems, around the same time of the season are taking off at the same time. And they kind of both got to the same area, but in different routes, right? I mean, Rivers last year, no preseason games, truncated training camp. And we saw Wentz missed, obviously, a lot of training camp with his foot, missed all of the preseason games. So they kind of got to the same place, but in two different routes. And now I think after they had 3 or 4 games under their belt, I think, obviously we saw with Rivers taking off last year and his statistical, performances towards the end of the season last year, I think Wentz is able to do the same thing. And that being said, he's already been pretty good, in my opinion, for the Colts through a month of the season so far.
I agree with you. I had said this, Matt, in closing with the Wentz segment. I thought that the week 1 against Seattle was what the Colts expected, because at the time they felt the rest of the team was going to be able to lift him up, and they felt that was going to be winning football. The rest of the team has even been injured, and the offensive line certainly has been a struggle with both injury and oftentimes ineffectiveness. I thought he, most of the time when he's been out there, other than when he couldn't walk in Nashville, has lifted them up. So really it's kind of been a 180 at the beginning of the season as far as, the quarterback compared to the team, or the team compared to the quarterback, is, at least I thought this was going to be when they traded for him, and their expectation for him to have a turnaround season in India, after that craptacular, awful season of a year ago, his final one in Philly.
And I agree with that, and I'll take it a step further. Rick Venturi and I he's making fun of our travels there in the airport in Miami, but while we were waiting for the plane to take off, we were actually talking about that and how it's almost like the first 3 or 4 games for the Colts this year in the regular season acted as training camp 2.0, because the first training camp was marred by injuries and guys going out and COVID situations and just not a lot of cohesiveness and a lot of time missed with some key players and not building rapport and synergy with a lot of key players on offense. And now that slowly but surely guys are starting to trickle back in the lineup and you're starting to have more time on task together, it's almost like training camp 2.0. And now that they're a month in, now it's almost like, they're ready to play like they should have been playing in week 1 in terms of synergy and chemistry with the offensive line, and Carson Wentz knowing the nuances of all of his playmakers and skill players on the outside on offense. So I agree with you, and that's why I'm optimistic that the Colts can go on a little bit of a run here, hopefully get this win coming up on Monday night, and then you play Houston, and, hopefully on paper that's a win for the Colts. And then, we get out of this 5-game stretch that we talked about for so long in the offseason on how it was a gauntlet, those first 5 games of the year. You just got to navigate those as best you can. And then, the bad luck struck where you got all these injuries to start the season. So if you can get out with 2 wins after starting 0-3 and get some more guys back in the lineup, maybe it's Braden Smith next week, maybe it's T.Y. Hilton coming back next week, and with that on paper, the schedule lightening up a little bit, hopefully this team can get on a run and salvage the season after that 0-3 start, similar to how they did in 2018 when they started 1-5.
It's Matt Taylor. I said something similar on Monday. I thought the second half was kind of a revelation of sorts that you normally would see back in the old school days of 4 preseason games. And that third, where things started coming together because your frontliners were in there and healthy. That's kind of how I described it on Monday. Hey, before I let you go, we honored the year anniversary of the passing of the greatest lead guitarist of all time 2 days ago in Eddie Van Halen. Tony Donahue asked me here at Average Joe's in Broad Ripple to give me your favorite Van Halen song.
Well, for me, it's "Dance the Night Away." It's "Dance the Night Away" because it's the epitome of Van Halen, right? It's all guitar, it's a great chorus, and it's straight to the point, and you can dance to it. And that's what Van Halen did. They revolutionized rock and roll music at that time. They sort of turned back the clock on rock and roll, and they made rock and roll music that you could dance to. And that's why I think "Dance the Night Away" is probably my favorite Van Halen song, because it's got a great guitar solo in it, and the chorus is great, and it's in and out. It's a 2.5, 3 minute song, and it just gets straight to the point.
Yeah, it's funny. I thought about this. I got to run here, but one last thing with you. I read an article on that year anniversary of his death about how they were discovered in Pasadena, California in late 76, early 1977. And the guys that first saw them kind of thought the way that you did. They thought that they were watching somebody that's going to go down playing the guitar as the greatest of all time. And then they saw David Lee Roth up front thinking that he is way, way too much, being way too much for that band. And that's kind of how you've described how much you love Van Halen and really in what aspect you have. So,
yeah, I mean, everybody always tries to compare the two eras with Sammy Hagar and David Lee Roth. And I have respect for both. But, I mean, I probably saw Van Halen 6 times, and I never went to see David Lee Roth sing. So I'll just put it that way. You always go to see Eddie play guitar, and towards the end there, obviously, David Lee Roth was just sort of a circus show, more so than he was back in his heyday in the 80s. But
I think Hagar was in a band in the 70s called Montrose, and I could be wrong about this. And
it was
Montrose, and it could, it could be revisionist history, but they were talking about how they felt back when they first discovered Van Halen that Hagar would be much better a fit moving forward than David Lee Roth. So I don't know if they just said that as revisionist history or if they actually thought that at the time, but it's pretty interesting if you're a fan of Van Halen. Matt, I appreciate you. You guys safe travels to Baltimore, and certainly we'll be dialed in on Monday night.
I appreciate you, man. Have a good weekend. Be good.
So Matt Taylor, voice of the Colts right there on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. We'll take a quick break and come back. The great Rob Sabatini from Average Joe's is here. We'll talk about his place, getting through the pandemic, and where we are right now with the greatness of Average Joe's. Bud Light Blue Friday. We're back with you next.
This is the Colts preview on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Live from the Power Home Solar Radio studio, here's the voice of the Colts, Matt Taylor.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Colts preview. Today brought to you by Arby's. All season long, if a Colts running back scores a touchdown, everybody gets a free small curly or crinkle fry and an ice cold Coca-Cola Zero Sugar the next day at participating Indianapolis Arby's locations. No purchase necessary. Limit 1 per fan. Visit Colts.com/promotions for all the details. It's another day of preparation for the Colts as they gear up for Week 5 and the Baltimore Ravens on Monday Night Football. It's the first primetime game of the season for the Colts, who look to stack upon their first win of the season last week in Miami. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, this will already be their third primetime game of the season, and they've been really good at home under the lights under John Harbaugh. Since 2008, when he took over, the Ravens are 16-2 at home in primetime games, and they've won 14 of their last 15 primetime affairs at M&T Bank Stadium. It's going to be loud when the Colts have the ball, and the Ravens' defense has thrived at home. They're giving up only 12 points per game in their last 2 outings, and they've been one of the best takeaway teams in the NFL over the recent years. One of their best takeaway magnets is Pro Bowl cornerback Malik Humphrey, who had 8 forced fumbles last season, which led the NFL and set a Ravens single-season record. And Carson Wentz talked this week about the added emphasis on ball security, playing in a hostile environment against an exotic defense.
Yeah, honestly, around here, coaches just hammer us with ball security. It doesn't matter who we're playing, the opponent, all of those things. Coaches do an incredible job of, showing, okay, this is how they like to attack on defense. This is the type of aggression that they play with, all of that stuff. And so they're always preaching it around here. So for us, it's, hey, just stick to what we know and what we do best. Take care of the football when we're carrying it, take care of the ball when we're throwing it, and just be, make a concerted effort. But at the same time, we don't really change our routine on that front because we do preach it all the time around here.
That's Carson Wentz, who's coming off the best game of his season to date. He had a 115 passer rating against the Dolphins last week, and he's looking to go over 100 passer rating in back-to-back games for the first time since weeks 15 and 16 of the 2019 season. And that's it for the Colts preview today, brought to you by Arby's here on 93.5 and 107.5 The Fan.
Really does have it all. Savings, service, selection, and a whole lot more. All of our
pre-owned vehicles are Hubler Q certified. Every Q certified vehicle includes a 128-point vehicle inspection, a free Carfax vehicle history report, and not one, but 2 warranties. A 2-year, 100,000-mile powertrain warranty and a 30-day, 1,000-mile comprehensive warranty. But that's not all. Each Q-certified vehicle on our lot has fewer than 100,000 miles or is less than 9 years old. Looking to sell your car? Hubler will pay top dollar, even if you don't buy ours. Come see why Hoosiers have trusted Hubler for 60 years. Visit any of our 13 locations today or click drivehubler.com.
Hey, John from BullseyeEventGroup.com, the Colts VIP tailgate presented by Hayes & Sons Restoration. They're coming back. Yep, next home game, the Texans in town, and the Bullseye Event Center is going to be hopping. All you can eat, all you can drink. You got celebrity chef Aaron May, who fixes all the food. You're inside the Bullseye Event Center. You got DJ Skids and DJ Helicon making sure you are entertained. It makes the game day experience for you before you see a snap of football at Lucas Oil Stadium. All at one place. And all beginning at 10 a.m. a week from Sunday inside the Bullseye Event Center. The BullseyeEventGroup.com. Colts VIP tailgate. Be a part of the absolute best. Get your passes and maybe combo it up with tickets to the game. Right now, BullseyeEventGroup.com.
This is for the men who never settle, the ones who believe only quitters end a game in a tie, the type of guys who choose the bar with the biggest TVs to overcompensate for theirs at home. This is the Lodge mentality. This is Twin Peaks.
You drink vino, they donate for veterans. Cupcake Imagery, 7 Deadly, and Chloe Wines are proud to support Pets for Patriots in connecting military veterans with shelter animals. Come help polish off a glass or two and help pets find great homes. Twin Peaks. Eats, drinks, scenic views.
The house you're living in could cost you less. You've just got to refinance to one of these insanely low mortgage rates. Guys, it's Stan Dockage for my friends at American Financing, reminding you that there's never been a better time to get a free mortgage review. There's no obligation, no upfront fees, just a simple conversation around which program may be a better fit. Rates really are at all-time lows, and chances are you can benefit. Even if you refinanced or bought a home last year, you still may be eligible. It could mean lowering your monthly payments plus tens of thousands of dollars in long-term savings without restarting your term. You know what else? You may even be able to postpone 2 mortgage payments, creating even greater upfront savings. So don't put a refinancing off any longer. Rates won't stay this low forever. Call 463-223-1418. That's 463-223-1418 or visit AmericanFinancing.net.
NMLS 182334, NMLSConsumerAccess.org.
Hey, Connecticut Water, the absolute best, and Joe, John, and Dennis, and I want you to understand, if you don't have Connecticut, you don't have the best, and I can't tell you enough what it's done for my water and what it will do for you at Connecticut. Premier Series Water Softener, K5 in-home drinking water station. Great prices right now. Give them a call or check them out today at their 2 locations in central Indiana. Northeast side Castleton, south side US 31 and Southport Road, the Connecticut Water app. Download that to your smartphone or device today. It's online, ConnecticutIndy.com.
Fall in Indy. And for 20 years, Rhino Shield's been covering Indiana homes like your neighbor Elsie.
My husband, he had been reading about Rhino Shield. We were just impressed.
And Rhino Shield's not paint, it's better.
And we had our, all the trim and everything done. And they even did the ceiling of our front porch.
Indianapolis, fall just got better. Celebrate Rhino Shield covering Indiana homes for 20 years for 20% off the regular price.
Oh my, it looks brand new. Saves us painting, and we get compliments even today about how nice it looks and everything.
Here's owner Shane Smith.
This offer is limited, so call me at 888-RHINO-41. That's 888-RHINO-41.
Don't paint.
Don't vinyl.
Go Rhino.
Don't paint, don't vinyl. Go Rhino Shield. Never paint your house again. Rhino Shield.
Hey, this is your month, October, with Big Red Liquors and their 59 locations. You can sign up to win what may be their biggest event ever. a chance for you to buy a bottle of Pappy Van Winkle, which everybody loves, and they are putting a premium in October on great bourbon at Big Red Liquors. So sign up. You got to be 21, but there's no purchase necessary, and take your shot at being able to buy a bottle of Pappy. I know you guys, and I know you love it, and I want you to take advantage of it. 59 Big Red Liquors locations to sign up today, and for more info online, bigredliquors.com.
So then I dropped some garlic and croutons on there, and the rest is salad history. I made the best salad ever, people, and now I'm making the best app. The Caesar Sportsbook app got live in-game betting, parlays, and Caesar rewards. Caesar salad ain't got nothing on my app. Nothing!
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT. Download the Caesar Sportsbook app. Your app is ready, Emperor.
This year, our average client received over $52,000 with an easy cash-out refinance. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
The Ride with JMV.
Get him a body bag! Yeah! All right.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
I'm in the heart of Broad Ripple. I'm in the window at Average Joe's on a Bud Light Blue Friday. Two people are kissing out here in the car. What, you're not leaving? Well, you better not leave. You better not. Hey, in the window here, Bud Light Blue Friday, Rob Sabatini is with us, and I was just doing a little math, and I did it inaccurately. He has owned Average Joe's here in Broad Ripple. You know Rob very well if you come to Broad Ripple and go to Average Joe's. 26 years, correct?
26 years, yeah.
Man, well done. Well done.
Yeah. Yeah, kind of hard to believe sometimes.
Now, and you also have ownership in
the Mine Shaft Saloon and Rock Lobster right next door. My business partner for many years was Fred Treadway that ran Treadway Racing and Ollie Lyondike during the IRL years of Indy.
Yeah.
And then I've been on my own since 2008.
Man, and you're still standing tall here. Variety of things you had to deal with. I know you had a health situation, and then like everybody else, had the situation known as COVID that you had to navigate. But again, here you are. Like Elton John said in the 80s, I'm still standing.
Well, yeah. Luckily, I in October a couple years ago, I went through a triple bypass surgery.
Yeah.
Sudden type of thing, and it kind of just fell right into COVID right afterwards. So. COVID had us shut down completely for about 4 months, and like everybody else, it was a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month thing. You just never knew what was going to happen, and in July of this year, they finally let us go back to 100% opening, and the bars have been really very, very busy since. Broad Ripple area has been busy since, so. It's good to be through all of that, and it's good to come out the other end of everything all at the same time. You kind of feel like you whipped everything you could whip. So,
well, you're certainly not going to be afraid of anything anymore. I mean,
no,
you can tackle anything at this point.
No, I had COVID too, so that was on top of everything else.
Right.
So it was a couple challenging years, but boy, it sure is good to be back, be healthy, and. See an old friend like you that I haven't got a chance to see for a couple of years.
Well, and you've been doing some DJ work, I hear, too, much like I have as well. And I did not know this, but you are a big-time listener to the JMV Takeover on Saturday nights.
I love the JMV Takeover, but, of course, I've been DJing since Saturday Night Fever came out. So that kind of puts me into the category where those 80s songs are pretty unique, and I don't hear them very often. But yeah, I unfortunately, our main DJ at the Rock Lobster passed away in an accident back in 2013, and there really weren't a lot of options to go to from there, as far as right off the bat. So I jumped in the DJ booth like I'd done for many years, and just kind of took that phase of it over then, and now now it's just it's a great joy to have a chance to play music, especially play music for some of these kids that are just 21 and coming out of COVID and never really been in a nightclub before. So.
Yeah, and probably maybe for the first time hearing what you're playing, stuff that we feel is mainstream, but to them maybe a little fresh and and unheard of to that point in their existence.
I think it's more unheard of than it is fresh, but that's okay.
Nothing wrong with it. Well, I've said this all along. I mean, we're a lot closer generationally than we were when we were that age.
Yeah.
I mean, when I'm looking around at my grandma's RCA records on the day, and it's the Statler Brothers and Freddie Fender and stuff, and if I wanted to listen to that, you had to work hard to do it. You don't have to work hard to listen to anything generational anymore.
No,
it's right there for you.
Everything's right in your wheelhouse, and you know the way they stream movies and things.
Yep.
So many movie songs are really popular now. So
all right, well, tell us a little bit about Average Joe's. What's going on here? Still the great food, the great place. Everybody gets here.
Yeah. Average Joe's is it's still heavily involved in the neighborhood in a lot of different things. The menu's great. We've revamped a lot of things on it. The wings and burgers are still to kill for. During COVID, we spent a lot of time getting it painted and freshened up. And we're fortunate, one of the fortunate ones that's fully staffed. We've got a great staff here, and it's just great to see everybody and to be coming out of this thing and have the opportunity to do live things like this again, which just haven't happened.
26 years.
Yeah.
Here's the 26 more, brother. How about that?
Well, I hope so.
I'm very excited for it because I know, we had talked about this earlier, what you had personally gone through with all this, and we have been friends for a long time, going back to my days at the other station when I was in here often as well, and it's been amazing. You look absolutely the same. You don't look a damn bit different, so well done out of you.
Well, it was kind of like a Ferrari hitting a wall. I thought I was gonna be immortal, and boy, oh boy, in 12 hours time, it can certainly change your attitude on things.
No doubt about that. For 26 years, he has owned Average Joe's here in Broad Ripple. And if you're out and about, whether you're at Average Joe's or if you're at the Lobster or down at the Mine Shaft, you have probably seen him. Ask for him. He is an awesome guy. It is Rob Sabatini, and we are glad you are happy and healthy and things are pumping here, man.
Thanks,
because
John.
that is the way that it should be.
John, and I congratulate you on all the stuff. I remember the night, just real quick before we go, I remember the night that you and I were up in the DJ booth over to Rock Lobster playing around.
Also remember the night I was down in the basement.
That's another
yes,
thing.
it is
another story. Just taking that idea with the takeover and just taking it and going with it and playing some really unique music. I'm real happy for you, and I just wish you'd answer my Twitter feeds when
I'll do that. I tell you what, send me a request tomorrow night too. All right,
I will.
It's Rob Sabatini, everybody. Average Joe's here in Broad Ripple. Right. That's an awesome dude right there. Bud Light Blue Friday. I've got your chance to win some tickets to the Texans game while we're here. Sit tight for that. Harris Hoosier Park race of the day. Other side. Don Fisher, top of the hour, and that and more as we go until 5:30 and get you set with Colts Happy Hour. We're back with you next.
Sports Center updates on the Fan are brought to you by Big O Tires. Save up to $150 off select tires now through October 31st. Only at your locally owned and operated Big O Tires, the team you trust.
We have your chance to win tickets to see Trans-Siberian Orchestra when they return to Gamebridge Fieldhouse December 22nd. Sign up to win today at 1075thefan.com.
Of course, she needs a college education, but I don't want her buried in student loans for the rest of her life.
It starts here.
She needs a school with great resources, but some of these campuses are so big.
The School of Health and Human Sciences at IUPUI has the resources of a big university on a campus with a hometown feel. It's a more affordable option with access to career paths in Indy's world-class healthcare and sports entertainment hospitality organizations.
At those big schools, I'm worried she'll just be a number.
Hey, it starts here.
Hey, why not IUPUI?
That's what I was thinking.
Graduates in the Nutrition and Dietetics program are inspiring others to live well, manage their stress, improve athletic performance, and take control of their own health as registered dietitians. Plus, the new doctoral degree prepares future leaders and educators in aspects of public health and wellness.
The School of Health and Human Sciences at IUPUI. It starts here. Learn more at shhs.iupui.edu.
Hey, it's JMV here. The NFL Week 5 is also here. FanDuel Sportsbook wants you to get the most out of every single play. So, What you get to do is a same-game parlay bet with 3 legs or more, and if your bet doesn't win, FanDuel will pay you back up to $10. You can outline many other games. We pointed out Chargers and Browns. Obviously, the Colts and the Ravens as well with your same-game parlay. Do that with FanDuel Sportsbook. Use that promo code JMV and also claim your 30-1 odds on either team to win Monday night. That's the Colts and the Ravens from Baltimore. Just sign up using the promo code JMV. Promo code JMV today. 21 plus and present in Indiana. Refund issued is non-withdrawable site credit that expires in 7 days. Max refund $10. Restrictions apply. See terms at sportsbook.fanduel.com. Same game parlay available for multiple sports in all states on mobile and/or web. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
We've done it again!
While other lenders are talking about raising their rates, our expert team at Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With the low rate of 1.875% and home values at all-time highs, you can get more cash out of your home or eliminate pricey mortgage insurance.
Call 317-706-GOLD today to get your refinance started within minutes and make no mortgage payments until next year.
After all, our team speaks mortgage and loves translating it for customers. We can save you even more money with our 1.875% rate.
Plus, you'll never pay up front for your appraisal at Golden Oak. Call 317-706-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, cured my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
Ever since you
Dierks Bentley. Ears on Me Tour 2021. Friday, October 15th, Ruoff Music Center. And he's bringing along special guests, Mitchell Tenpenny.
Cause on me, can't get over you.
And the Cadillac 3. Dierks Bentley, live in concert.
I'm getting drunk on the plane.
Reserved seat tickets are on sale now at livenation.com.
This is Ryan Newman for Indiana Donor Network and Driven to Save Lives. When I'm not racing around at 200 miles an hour, I like to take things a little slower. But even here at the lake, I'm still driven to save lives. So if you're like me and you enjoy fishing or hunting, say yes to being an organ donor when you get your license online or when you renew your driver's license. Learn more and sign up today to be an organ donor at donatelifeindiana.org.
Hey, this is Jeff Saturday, and you've heard me talk about More Restoration for years. And yes, it's true, I've used More Restoration on my home 3 separate times for a fire and flooding. I care about my family, and More made me feel confident in using them. Kenny and the team at More have just become a part of First On Site, making them one of the largest restoration companies in Indiana and North America. Same people, same personal customer service, but large enough to handle any loss, any disaster with First On Site. When you need help, call the people Jeff Saturday calls. Call More Restoration, a First On Site company.
Puccini 707 locations. Puccini's Pizza Pasta.com. Puccini 707 locations. Puccini's Pizza Pasta.com.
Founded right here in Indianapolis in 1991 and winner of the World Pizza Championships in Parma, Italy.
Puccini 707 locations. Puccini's Pizza Pasta.com.
Hey, John, for PAI, it's WeGrowHairIndy.com, 888-724-5129. Real growing hair again. Yeah, this is not a pipe dream. This is for real. Darren Andrews, private consultation, will tell you all you need to know about your real growing hair again with PAI. It's WeGrowHairIndy.com today.
Hey, Indy. Tim Pearson here, founder of Chattanooga Whiskey, the only Tennessee high malt. Try Chattanooga Whiskey 91, our own rich malt-forward bourbon with 4 grains, 3 specialty malts, and finished in a charred white oak Solera barrel. Drink Chattanooga Whiskey and enjoy responsibly.
Harris Hoosier Park Race of the Day, 50-50 in betting and in dining from Harris Hoosier Park Racing and Casino. Here's your lineup. Leonard Gregory gets Rockin' Rebellion. Mark Roden with DP Real or Deal. Gareth Guilino has I'm Always Classy. Kurt Shariff says I got odds on Alpha Male. Block by Block, who is here, I believe. Topville Alexander. Josh Sparks. Tony and Rock. Indy Drew gets JK's on the move. MTS Wood with Ponda Hawk. And Wino has Infinite Warrior. There it is, your Harrah's Hoosier Park race of the day. Good luck.
The following is presented by the Indiana Standard Bred Breed Development Program. From Harrah's Hoosier Park Racing and Casino, it's time for the Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
They are up at the inside. I'm always classy, off to a sharp start. Topville Alexander, odds-on Alpha Male moves up between. Then it's Rockin' Rebellion at the inside. From the outside, Ponda Hawk is now moving up. Down at the inside comes DP Real or Deal, who is moving next. And then it's Tony and Rock, who is racing 7th. 8th early on as JK's on the move. Infinite Warrior the trailer by the quarter in 27-2. To the backstretch they go, and Ponda Hawk now has come on to take the lead for John DeLong. Ponda Hawk in front by a length. Odds on Alpha Male second, a similar margin. Then I'm Always Classy third. Next in fourth is Rockin' Rebellion, followed by DP Real or Deal, and then it's Topville Alexander. Tony and Rock is 7th. 8th is JK's on the move, and Infinite Warrior remains last of the 9 as they now approach the half-mile pole. By the half in 56-2. The leader is Ponda Hawk. Ponda Hawk with the lead. Odds on Alpha Male pocketed second. Then I'm Always Classy racing in third. Moving up on the outside is Topville Alexander. And to the inside of that is Rockin' Rebellion. Trying to follow along with the flow on the outside is Tony and Rock. Then DP Real or Deal is inside that. Next comes JK's on the move. And Infinite Warrior remains the trailer. They're approaching the top of the stretch. 3/4 in 125. Ponda Hawk trying to go all the way in front. Still there. Now has it by 2. Moving on the outside, Topville Alexander. Odds on Alpha Male is at the inside. I'm Always Classy. And then Rockin' Rebellion has now moved to the outside to try to come on. Ponda Hawk, though, is in front. Still has it now nearly 3 lengths. Ponda Hawk just drawing away through the stretch. And Ponda Hawk is the winner. Second will be Topville Alexander at big odds. And then a photo in there for third with I'm Always Classy and odds on Alpha Male. 1:52 was the time.
Just minutes from Indy off I-69 in Anderson, Harrah's Hoosier Park has standard bred horse racing through December 4th, thanks in part to the Indiana Standard Bred Breed Development Program. And keep listening for your chance to win with the Harrah's Hoosier Park Harness Race of the Day on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Download the top-rated DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use promo code WFNI when you sign up and get up to $1,000. Code WFNI bonus up to $1,000 for a limited time only at DraftKings Sportsbook.
93.5 and 107.5 The Fan. Listen on air, online at 1075thefan.com, and on our free app at Google Play and on the App Store. The Ride with JMV.
This will be the high point of my day. It's all downhill from here.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
MTS Wood, the winner of the Harrah's Hoosier Park race of the day. He'll split it up 50-50 in dining and betting. From Harrah's Hoosier Park Racing and Casino in Anderson, Ponda Hawk. The win paid out $11.20. The place was $5.80. The show at $4.20. Topville Alexander placed at $25. The show was $12. I'm Always Classy showed at $3.80. The $2 exacta payout, $205.40. Meanwhile, the 50-cent trifecta payout went at a robust $251.10. That is your Harrah's Hoosier Park race of the day on a Friday. All right, we are ALDS Game 2 right now. For a moment, the White Sox had a 4-1, maybe a 4-2 advantage, but presently, White Sox batting in the top of the 7th inning. They are tied at 4 with the Astros. Of course, Houston, a Game 1 winner of that ALDS yesterday. Meantime, underway and going into the bottom of the first inning, the Braves a little bit of noise in that Game 1 of their NLDS matchup with Milwaukee. In Milwaukee, runner on third, 2 outs, but they're going to the bottom of the first inning, no score, and Milwaukee coming up for the first time in that NLDS game number 1. All right, coming up on the top of the hour, we got Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers. Are you off? But we will converse with Don at just how good of a time for Tom Allen's team did this bye week come, and what to expect for the remainder of the season, especially with quarterback injuries and the like. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, coming up at the top of the hour. Of course, you had Big Ten Media Day going on downtown a little bit earlier, too, and we'll bring that up with Don because you had, I think, Trace Jackson Davis, I think Finnessy was down there, and Mike Woodson was down there meeting with the media as well, all a part of the Big Ten Media Day. What is up, brother? A little bit earlier down at Gamebridge Field House, Average Joe's Broad Ripple, Bud Light Blue Friday, and we are looking for you because we've got your chance at Texans Colts tickets. Now, we'll say this. I think a friend of ours has staked his claim to the football toss. So I will tell you that. Now, staked his claim because he's performed well. You still have a chance, and you have a chance with the random giveaway, but we've got a friend of ours that have staked their claim via the football toss with our friends from Bud Light. We'll check that out coming up in the 5 o'clock hour. Don Fisher and a whole lot more after 5. We're back with you next.
Sports with Dan Dakich.
Great Joe, right? To beat Baltimore in their building on Monday night, you got to be the tougher team. I'll be watching the trenches just like I always do, but especially Monday night because it's going to come down to who can bully who. They're going to try to line up. We're going to run the ball down your throat, and with Lamar Jackson coming off the edge, both teams are going to try to do the same thing. Who's going to win out Monday night will be who ends up on the right side of that ball game.
Dan Dakich, weekdays noon to 3 on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, it's Johnny for Andy Moore Buick GMC. That's 131st State Road 37. It is in Fishers. Eric Wilson is his name. He is incredible at what he does. And I will talk to him often, and he will share with me exactly what's going on at Indiana's Best. And I know this, that you've been asking about inventory. JMV, so what kind of inventory do they have? Because oftentimes it's been a struggle to find it. But I can tell you, at Indiana's Best, they have the inventory, great prices, and the overall best car buying experience you are going to find anywhere at one place. So check in with Eric Wilson, tell him I sent you, and go to work on a new set of wheels at Indiana's Best. Andy Moore Buick GMC, that's 131st and State Road 37 in Fishers.
IU football's special pregame show is right here on The Fan, Saturday, October 16th at 11 a.m. And a 12 noon kickoff right down the dial at 93.1 WIBC.
You know you worked hard to build your wealth. You also know one must plan for the twists and turns ahead. The children growing up, empty nest realities, and the joys of retirement. There's something else you need to know. You're not alone in this. You have a wealth management partner in Edelman Financial Engines to work with you every step of the way. Whether it's personalized advice or our modeling of over 38,000 investments monthly to keep you current and focused. It also helps to know that we use a cost-effective, integrated approach to wealth planning. From tax-optimized portfolios to life-focused advice for retirement and the possibilities ahead. If you're asking, what more can I do to take my wealth potential to the next level? Call to schedule a free, no-obligation meeting with an Edelman Financial Engines advisor who knows what that takes. Call 833-PLAN-EFE or visit planefe.com today.
Our first plan to spice up the NFL season was to add man-eating tigers to the game. We lost a lot of great players that day, and that was my bad. Now I'm bringing you the Caesars Sportsbook app. It's got live in-game betting, parlays, and Caesars rewards, people. It's even better than Tiger Ball.
Must be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-9-WITH-IT.
We've done it again.
While other lenders are talking about raising their rates, our expert team at Golden Oak Lending has dropped rates even lower.
I'm James Hawkins, president of Golden Oak. With the low rate of 1.875% and home values at all-time highs, you can get more cash out of your home or eliminate pricey mortgage insurance.
Call 317-706-GOLD today to get your refinance started within minutes and make no mortgage payments until next year.
After all, our team speaks mortgage and loves translating it for customers. We can save you even more money with our 1.875% rate.
Plus, you'll never pay up front for your appraisal at Golden Oak. Call 317-706-GOLD today.
Golden Oak Landing, join my blues.
NMLS 114937, 1.875% fixed, 2.952% APR, FHA 15-year mortgage with 20% equity and approved credit.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
WIBC HD2, W298BB, WIBC HD3, W228CX, Indianapolis.
The Pittsburgh Steelers host the Denver Broncos in NFL action. Sunday at noon on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan. The Ride with JMV.
Well, you're going to have to say that. You're going to have to speak up because I can't hear you.
93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hey, a couple of baseball games going on. ALDS Game 2 tied at 4. Sox and the Astros. Astros 2 men on, 2 men out. Threatening going on here in the bottom of the 7th inning down in Houston. They would take a commanding 2-zip lead in that ALDS. And you got the Braves and the Brewers. Brewers batting in the home half of the first inning. No score in that game. We'll keep you updated. Average Joes were in Broad Ripple today. Bud Light Blue Friday, your chance at Texans Colts tickets. Per usual with our friends from Bud Light on a Friday. And joining us now, the Andy Moore Automotive Group Hotline. Voice of the Hoosiers with a weekend off because IU football has a bye week. Our friend Don Fisher joins us. And Don, I will tell you this. I'm in Broad Ripple right now. And the other Joe Smith is right here next to me. Do you know who I'm talking about, the other Joe Smith?
I know exactly who you're talking about.
The other Joe Smith is a good dude. He's not nearly the broadcaster that the real deal Joe Smith is, but he's a good dude, too.
No, I know who Joe Smith is. I got him a bunch of autographs. Ask him.
You did. You got him a bunch of autographs, and then this is why I love you. You're so savvy. He said, hey, mention me during a broadcast once. And when you passed it to Joe Smith, you said the other Joe Smith. That is some savvy broadcasting work out of you right there. That's well done. No, but seriously, he's a good guy, and I wanted to mention that because he was right here next to me. Hey, before we get into IU football and obviously Big Ten Media Day with Mike Woodson and the Hoosiers up here in Indy a little bit earlier, what will you be doing in this off weekend from IU football, Don?
Well, believe it or not, John, I know this is hard for you to believe, but I played golf today.
Okay.
As you know, I have a tendency to do that when I have the opportunity. And I was down here in Jasper, Indiana. I'm actually just leaving the golf course as we speak at Salton's Run. And I played with the Indiana Baseball Hall of Fame. It was a golf outing here. Ray Howard has been doing this thing for years and years. He does a phenomenal job. Just had a great time today. Played golf with Dan Sparks, the coach, the Bill basketball coach for Penn State.
Yes, Dan Sparks.
Yep, and Jim Jones, who was the coach of Larry Bird at one time, and of course coached Princeton. I think didn't they win a state championship?
He was. He coached Larry at Springs Valley. I think he was at Princeton, and then he was at Terre Haute North for a long period of time too.
Exactly.
That's some of Southern Indiana, West Central Indiana's finest right there. Dan Sparks, Don, you can attest to this because you're in the know too, was one of the better basketball coaches of his era, and his era lasted a long time. Even though we're talking about Ben Sims in JUCO. They, year after year, were good, and they produced high water, high-level type of players coming out of there.
Absolutely, and just a great guy. We have a great time today. It was a lot of fun. We enjoyed ourselves. I also played with Bobby Siegel, who played at North Central High School, baseball player at North Central High School, and now he's coaching with the Otters down in Evansville. And Elliot Siegel, who is one of the staffers for Pacer games, runs the spot clock and all that kind of stuff. He's Elliot's son, and we had a great time. We rode together in a car together today, and we just had a ball down here. The Baseball Hall of Fame, I don't think people know much about it, but it's here in Jasper. It's run by Ray Howard, who's the old baseball coach at Jasper High School. Did a phenomenal job there, won several state championships at that school. And it's unbelievably well attended. And again, a lot of people don't know about it, but it's a terrific Hall of Fame and just a great golf outing. We had a ball.
Let me tell you this. I would move to Jasper in a second. I love Jasper. Jasper, Indiana is awesome. Always has been and always will be. Now, I want you to, I don't know if you've already passed it, I want you to slide into the Schnitzelbank on your way home, if you do. Slide into the Schnitzelbank on your way home. Ask for Alan, and Alan's going to set you up. I mean, that is the place right there, the Schnitzelbank.
Yeah, I know it is, and actually, it's probably three of my boys are going to come down and join me tomorrow. We're going to play golf here both tomorrow and Sunday. That's what I'm doing on my week off, John. As you might know, it's probably what I had to plan all the way through. But that's it. We're going to go to the Schnitzelbank tomorrow night.
Here's what I want to do. I want to go down with you tomorrow. Unfortunately, I have to work, but because I want to enjoy a Das Boot with you and all your buddies. And then, because what's great about the Schnitzelbank, there's a Hampton Inn right across the parking lot. And then if I have a couple of different Das Boots, I can just stumble across the parking lot and pass out in bed. It's beautiful.
Well, John, we both have ulterior motives for wanting to come to Jasper.
Well, ask for Alan at the Schnitzelbank. He's a great guy. And among my favorite places anywhere to have lunch or dinner, that would be it. And you got to get the salad bar to make sure you get the chilled steel plates on that salad bar. And it is unforgettable still, just like it was back in the day. It's great.
That's awesome. That's what we'll talk about tomorrow night.
Yes, and that's great. Well, listen, you're having a much better weekend doing that, I'm sure. Than I love doing music and stuff, but I'd much rather be at the Schnitzelbank. There's no doubt. well done.
Day, we're going to have fun on the weekend with the boys.
Before we get to the football, because IU's got an off week, what'd you make of, I know you're playing golf today. You had Big Ten Media Day going on up here. Mike Woodson, I think Trace was up here. I think Finnessy was up here as well. I love the position, even before they played one game, even before they've called the timeout. I love the position and the mentality that is being set moving forward with Mike Woodson. I mean, I'd be hard-pressed to find anybody that follows IU basketball that does not like directionally where this is going before anybody's even called a real-time game timeout to this point.
Well, you're absolutely 100% right. There's no doubt that Mike – and I was one of those people that I started thinking about Mike being our head coach before he was ever named. Would I want him to be our head coach? And I would say I would not have that problem, but he was not my first choice. I'm not saying that because I doubted Mike's ability. I'm simply saying I thought Dane Fife was maybe the guy that could come here immediately and turn things around. But Mike Woodson's proved he can do exactly the same thing, and he brought Dane Fife with him as an assistant coach, so it's the best of both worlds. But I went down to practice a couple of days ago. I watched the entire practice, and I was so impressed with what Mike was doing, how he has interacted with these kids, how he's got these guys believing in his system. There's no question they've got a lot of work to do, but I can tell you this, the kids have bought in. And they're playing as hard as any Indiana basketball team I've seen in a long time. These guys are playing for the coach. They're playing for the assistant coaches. I think they love what Mike has done in trying to open the game for them as individuals and fit them into his system. But his system is it's adapting to what the players are capable of doing. And I think that is huge for this program at this point.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like that everybody is on the same path, and I don't remember, in the 4 years now leading up to this where it ever really consistently felt like that. And I don't know, I'm assuming I can, but let me just tell you, last week, one of the IU recruits from LN, I don't know if I'm allowed to say his name or not, I don't want to get anybody in trouble, but I talked to his dad. I've talked to Trace's stepdad a number of times as well, and they always just talk about how much buy-in that they have, their family has, and their basketball family has with Mike. And to me, that's tremendous strides, even before you play a minute of basketball action, and something that was necessary with this program.
Well, there's no doubt about that. I think, and I thought when I would be the first to tell you that I thought Archie was the guy when they hired him. I thought he would be a terrific fit for this program. What he did at Dayton was phenomenal, but it didn't transfer to Indiana. And I think the communication aspect of it was a big part of that. And I'm not saying that Archie didn't communicate with his players, but it just didn't fit. And sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. But you can tell right off the bat with Mike Woodson how he's approached this thing, how he has gone about, trying to make every one of these guys understand that this is Indiana University. This is going to be Indiana University basketball. It's going to be about the players and the coaching staff, and they are going to be one family. And, Tom Allen's kind of developed that with the football team, that culture of being a family-type situation. And I think Mike's done the same thing with this basketball team. And trust me when I tell you this, and you've talked to these other parents and so on in regard to how they feel about Mike, and Mike has bought into the kids just like the kids have bought into him. I mean, once these guys have committed themselves to Indiana, they are now a family again. And that's a big part of what's going on at IU at this juncture, and I think it's huge for the program.
Yeah, I completely agree. Don Fisher joins us, and that's why I got that from somebody that's well established within the program, and then somebody that's yet to be in the program, and you get the same or the consistent wording of what they most like about why they decided to either stay or go and play collegiately there. That to me means a lot.
Yeah, it does. There's no question. I think the buy-in is just huge. I mean, that's the first thing. And not that there wasn't buy-in with Archie and all those kinds of things, but, once you bought in, things can fall apart too. And I just don't think Mike will let that happen. I think these guys understand what he's looking for. I think he knows what he's got right now. He's not trying to get guys to do things they can't do. And at the same time, he's opened it up for things that they thought they could do, and maybe people told him they couldn't, and now he's getting they're getting an opportunity to show what they actually are all about, and if they can do it, he's going to let them do it. So I don't know if that makes sense or not, but if you know what I'm saying, that's the buy-in aspect of it. And again, I think it's part of what Mike believes his system has got to be. It's got to be for the players' abilities, what they're capable of doing, and at the same time, these guys have to feel confident that they're getting that opportunity to do it. If you've got that confidence, man, you can go a long way.
I completely agree. Absolutely. Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers, live from Jasper, Indiana, joins us via the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. Was this a good weekend for Tom Allen and the football team to get a break?
Absolutely, 100%. It was opportune to have a bye week this week because of the injury to Mike Penix and the separated shoulder that he's dealing with. How much time he'll be out, no one really knows. But the fact of the matter is, what we saw from Jack Tuttle last week in the Penn State ball game, in my opinion, bodes well for what we're going to see from Jack Tuttle as the season moves along, as long as Penix is still out. And whether or not Penix is out or not, if Jack Tuttle comes in and turns this team around, and I'm not saying he's going to get that done, but I think he's got the confidence level. I think the team believes in him. Not that they didn't believe in Mike. I think they believe in Mike just as much. But Mike hasn't been able to get past himself at this point. With the season that he's had 5 games to get his season underway, and it hasn't proved out to be as effective as a quarterback as you would expect him to be based on his previous performances. And honestly, at this point, I think it's a change is almost mandatory whether Mike Penix got hurt or not. So Jack Tuttle deserves an opportunity, and when he came in that Penn State ball game last week, I thought there was a spark to this football team because Jack is able to use his feet and his legs to help this team. The offensive line has not been very good, in my opinion, all season long. I think that with Jack Tuttle in there, it bodes well because he's not afraid to run. He will run. He has the opportunity. I think he is a good runner on top of being a guy that can run or scramble around back there. It gives the offensive line a little more time to get their job done, and I think right now this team needs that on offense. The offense has just been not even average at this point compared to what their capability has been in the past, and that's the big problem with this football team and why they haven't been able to win more consistently, at least here at the outset of this season. And they haven't even been in a couple of these ball games offensively. The Penn State game, another team that they, probably could have, if they'd just been able to move the football at all, they would have probably been in this ball game because they certainly had an opportunity early on to tie it up when they were down 7-0 and got an interception and they couldn't get it in. They had great field position and, again, could not get the ball in the end zone. So those are the kinds of things right now that this team's got to overcome, and I don't think there's any question that Tuttle might be the guy that can get it done.
Yeah, I would agree with you about the change, too, and I'm glad you said it because I had said, going into Western Kentucky, maybe you make that change, but I do get it now because you wanted to see if Penix could get, get some confidence going, see some numbers go up, play well, feel better. But then this kind of, I don't want to say gives you a convenient out here, but it certainly gives you the opportunity to see something that you probably should be looking for, injury or not. I do agree with you on that regarding the quarterback position.
Yeah, no question. I mean, think about it. Right now, JMV, we're looking at a football team's defense that is good enough. I mean, this defense has played pretty doggone well, even against the best three teams they faced this year. And Michael McFadden not got kicked out of the ball game with 2.5 minutes to go in the first half against Cincinnati. I still believe Indiana would have had a great chance and maybe would have won that game. Maybe not going away, but I don't think there would have been much doubt that they would have won that game. Because when McFadden went out of that contest with 2.5 minutes to go in the half, all of a sudden Cincinnati scores 10 points. And it's 14, instead of being 14-0, it's 14-10. And for me, that was the turning point of the game, and it changed the complete outcome of that performance against Cincinnati. And that's a team that just beat Notre Dame last week. So I still believe that might have been the turning point in this team's season negatively at this juncture.
He is Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers. He's in Jasper, playing a little golf at Sultan's Run. Going to spend the night. Going to party hard, you know that. Going to grab a little Das Boot at Schnitzelbank. And I'm going to be incredibly jealous because if there's a favorite place of mine to go, it is that one right there. I'm jealous.
There's no question. Jasper is a German town, a German Lutheran town. I'm a German and I'm Lutheran. I'm going to be in heaven tonight.
Get you some prime rib and a Das Boot, and then call me next week and thank me. That's what you got to do. All right.
All right, man.
All right, buddy. I appreciate it. Tell everybody down there we said hello, Don. Thank you.
I'll do it, man. See you later, John.
Yeah, Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers in Jasper. That's one of my favorite places anywhere on the Andy Moore Automotive Group hotline. But joining us now, sportsinformationtraders.com. Our guy, the legendary John Price, falls in here per usual on a Friday. Hello, John. How you doing?
Excited because we're really opening the door to a great opportunity to your listeners this weekend. We've got a real opportunity for people to be clients of our company for just Saturday and Sunday. We get a lot of inquiries from around the radio listenerships. We're on all over North America, and everybody wants to know, how can I be a part of your company without the long-term commitment? Well, I'll tell you. This weekend we're offering a 6-play trial package to all new clients for only $149. 866-441-2711, 866-441-2711, or the easiest way, you can go to our website, sportsinformationtraders.com. Again, it's sportsinformationtraders.com. You'll see a 6-play trial package right there. It's $149. This is not a qualifying offer. Obviously, you must have a place to play. The other thing you're going to see on our site is our Super Contest tickets. We're right now 70% in the biggest Super Contest involving the NFL that there is. We continue to win. We're going to do it this weekend, and you can be on my 6 plays for only $149. Go to sportsinformationtraders.com, hit the buy button, and you are in.
Hey, it's John Price with us. I did want to highlight this. It's not until Monday, obviously, but the Colts coming off their first win of the season down in Miami this past Sunday and get a Ravens team that is always really good, historically speaking, in the past here, recent past, in prime time, and always a tough out for anybody. What are you thinking as far as Monday night's concerned, John?
Well, the line opened at Ravens -7. That's where it is right now. So that means equal public money's coming in on both sides. I was real happy to see the Colts get a win last week, but I'll tell you, looking at their film, they had great field position for most of that football game. And oftentimes we've seen it this year, they don't cash in with points. And when you're going against a Dolphins team, that's okay. They got away with it. You're playing a Ravens team like this, you must cash in on the turnovers and on the field position. Hopefully we'll see them do a better job there of translating that short fields into points. For the Ravens, we know what Lamar Jackson can do, and I'm sure they've been watching the film last week of the Dolphins getting those long downfield completions on the Colts secondary. So they're going to try to attack the Colts and take them out of their comfort zone in this game. I think in the end, though, it's going to be a defensive battle, and I think that looking at the total of 46, I think this total is going to come in under that number. So my play here, which I will not wager on, but one that you can watch and your listeners can watch, take the under 46 points in the Ravens-Colts game. And again, folks, we love the people in Indianapolis. We get a lot of emails and inquiries from people in Indianapolis asking about the program. We get a lot of traffic from people in Indianapolis when we go on this segment on our website. Go to our website, sportsinformationtraders.com. You'll see a buy button there. You can buy an opportunity to be with us this weekend. It's a 6-play trial package. It's only $149. There's no qualifying involved. It doesn't matter if you bet $500 a game, $1,000 a game, whatever it is. We want to show you what it's like to be on the right games and to be managed the right way. And this is your weekend to do it. 6-play trial package, $149. That's it. Go to sportsinformationtraders.com.
John, I appreciate you, too. Have a fantastic weekend, and we'll check in with you again next Friday. Thank you.
You got it. Take care.
It's John Price, sportsinformationtraders.com. We're in Broad Ripple at Average Joe's. We're going to give away some tickets, Texans Colts tickets. My man right here has got a Paul's Boutique T-shirt on. I'm going to ask this question. This is another question for those that listen to the show. Do you know what I'm talking about? Kyle Unimart back to the station. If I say Paul's Boutique, do you know what I'm talking about?
No, I don't.
It's a band. I'm talking about a band. See, I wish I had Matt Taylor here, too, because he wouldn't know what I'm talking about. And I guarantee you Tony D back there doesn't know what I'm talking about. Billy, Paul's Boutique? No? Anyone? Man, I have failed miserably in my existence. You got Paul's Boutique? Yeah, okay. My man's outside here, and he's got Paul's Boutique. Paul's Boutique is a legendary album from the Beastie Boys. There you go. Paul's Boutique. Paul's Boutique was the follow-up to Ill Communication. No, was the follow-up to License to Ill. Right? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's it. So I didn't fail so miserably. There you go, Kyle. Beastie Boys. Kyle, do you ever listen to the Beastie Boys?
No, they're a little before my time. I've never really gotten into them.
Dang. All you young folks out there. Jason Gedham got it. Shout out to Gedham and Associates for getting that. All right, let me take a break. We'll come back for a final time, and we're going to get you set for a little Colts happy hour at the bottom of the hour. You know what thrills me is the fact that Don Fisher is in Jasper. Hey, Kyle, tell me, are we breaking here?
Say the next time we break, we'll be coming back for Colts happy hour here.
Okay, I'm sorry I didn't get with you. What time do you want me to go ahead and bail here? We'll do a little meeting right here over the air. What time?
You can go here in a couple minutes.
All right, I want to make sure that we're on the same page here. All right, that's what I thought, somewhere in this neighborhood. Yeah, but Don Fisher, voice of the Hoosiers. You have IU that is off this weekend, and he's down in Jasper. You got the Astros already pulled ahead 5-4 in the bottom of the seventh inning over the White Sox. Tag two more on. It is now 7-4 Astros over the White Sox. That is ALDS game number 2, and the Astros just continue to find offense, especially in clutch situations, which you knew that they would. And you saw it last night. And really, the Astros did that against Lance Lynn this season in general, but it has in the past. And my man Garcia just got turned ass around right there, didn't he? That's not good. That's not good at all. He was circling the proverbial wagons in right field. That was not well played. Not well played whatsoever. Hit right at him, a line drive, and the reaction wasn't that great. Astros 7, White Sox 5, Brewers, Braves, no score from Milwaukee as they play NLDS game number 1. You got 2 more games later on tonight in the NL. Later on this evening, game 1, Dodgers and Giants from San Francisco in that NLDS. And game number 2, you've got the Red Sox and the Rays, with the Rays 1 up in that series. That's down in St. Petersburg at Tropicana later on early this evening as well. In Broad Ripple, Average Joe's our location. It's a Bud Light Blue Friday. We shall take a break. We'll come back. We'll start giving away some tickets, and we'll do a little Colts happy hour coming up at the bottom of the hour as well. Thank you guys for being here. A Bud Light Blue Friday. Back, and gone. Astros, Kyle Tucker, a 2-run home run. It is now 9-4. Astros over the White Sox. Quick one, we'll come back for some Colts happy hour and more fun. Our friends from Bud Light at Average Joe's and Broad Ripple. Sit tight.
It's the Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen.
The Colts get their first win here in 2021.
I'm bullish on Carson Wentz. I'm kind of like Chris Ballard in the fact that I see the skill set that makes me think, I think you can go places with this guy.
There's some intrigue there with Carson Wentz. There is some, oh, wow, okay. That's what it looks like when you support him with a run game.
Right.
And your defense plays to that level.
The Fan Morning Show with Kevin Bowen.
Weekday mornings at 7
on 93.5 and 107.5. The Fan.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. This year, our average client received over $52,000 with an easy cash-out refinance. What would you do with an extra $52,000? Pay off those high-interest rate credit cards? Maybe start a business? Or knock out those home improvement projects? Let's make those dreams a reality today. Mortgage rates are near historic lows. Apply for your cash-out refinance today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
When winter's at its worst, snowplow professionals need the best. That's why your local Boss dealer has the ultimate lineup of snow and ice solutions you need. Front to back, Boss leads with advanced truck plows and spreaders, compact equipment, heavy equipment, and time-saving tools to clear any surface area. Keep them open with a Boss snowplow, built to back you up.
Join the Boss Owners Group and get a $50 rebate right now with a preseason Boss plow inspection at Mid-State Truck Equipment. Online at mid-statetruck.com.
Monday, October 11th, the Colts are on the road in Baltimore for an AFC showdown in primetime. It's Monday Night Football, and Wish TV is your station for the game. Carson Wentz goes head-to-head with Lamar Jackson. Monday night, October 11th, and Wish TV is on the road with all the exclusive coverage before, during, and after the game. Colts, Ravens, Monday Night Football. Watch Monday, October 11th on Wish TV. Get even more exclusive access at wishtv.com when you follow Wish TV on Facebook.
Right now, it's a seller's market. I'm Patrick Keller with Crest Point Real Estate. Get your free home value estimate from me in 60